There's a picture of BlizzCat on your Twitter.
There is. Hi, everybody. Welcome to, well, actually, The Secrets of Cats. I apologize that there's been a little bit of a change-up where this is the sort of instead of mundane to extraordinary and at a little bit later time, which is way more convenient for those of you on the west coast of the U.S. and maybe less convenient for some others. I apologize. Um, we've got pretty much a whole new crew with a couple of exceptions. There's Hasayona is still our illustrious GM, and you'll recognize Dimmy, and you would recognize Flo if his camera was working, but
Yeah,
he's with us as well.
sadly enough, I have camera problems again.
Uh,
I don't think I can solve them this time while playing.
that's okay. Not a big problem. Hopefully, next week we'll have all the tech working, and I'll actually
Yeah.
have the my side of the tech working on time. Anything's possible.
I
So-
hope too.
Joining us for the first time are Moko. Welcome.
Yeah.
And Aldith. Welcome as well.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello,
we
you
have
guys.
an all
So-
new.
Oh, sorry.
improved
Go ahead.
Crew. Yeah, we should come up with a better name for this, because something like Fate's Adventurers or something to show that we're basically just running a bunch of random adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do a quick introduction so that everybody knows everybody. Dimi.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Dimi. I've been playing in this campaign since the beginning, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I was a student until last month, basically, and now I'm on the lookout for a job, which I think I may have found.
Cool.
And yeah, basically,
luck.
I'm
Good luck.
Good luck.
Oh, thanks. And yeah, I've been playing role-playing games since last year, probably around a year or like 11 months. My first campaign was actually with Hase, with our dungeon master here. We were both players. We were both players in the same game. That's how I actually met her. And yeah, I've been playing with her basically ever since. In every single one of the campaigns, I've been either a DM of or a player in. So yeah, if you have any questions.
Why is your beard so fabulous?
Because I'm so fabulous.
Yeah, I think everybody knows Brad. I mean, you can say
maybe.
something about yourself if you want.
Sure. So we're streaming on my Twitch channel, rpglory.com. Let me see. I do have some interesting news. Well, interesting for some people, I guess. This weekend, or last weekend.
Hold on. There's
Oops.
feedback through Flow.
Sorry.
Got it. Okay.
No, it's gone.
Last weekend, I had the amazing opportunity to play a game at a con with Adam Coble.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and it was a lot of fun. It was Miseries and Misfortunes, which is a hack of the Mold Bay edition of D&D. So all the characters were very fragile, especially mine because I was playing an urchin, and Miseries and Misfortunes is set in like 17th century France, and the urchin characters start off with essentially nothing and are expected to be in the front row of every fight, just because they're small and don't take up much space. So it's easy for people to stab each other over them. But somehow my character survived, mostly by running out of the way as soon as the opportunity presented itself. But anyway,
Like a blast.
playing with Adam was amazing. It's a one-time thing and at a convention, but I'm still grinning from it days later.
I can imagine.
So who's next?
Well, Flo is the next one in the row of faces on. Well,
Okay.
not faces. Row of supposedly faces on Roll20.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
So, my name is Florian. This is the third time I'm playing. Just came to the group a couple of weeks ago, and I have some role-playing experience playing role-playing games with the computer, and I also had some pen and paper role-playing experience, but it's not that much. And I got an invitation to this, and I happily accepted it. Done.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. You're muted though. It makes it hard to hear.
Ah, perfect.
Much
Good
better.
thing. Yeah, well, hi. I am Moko. I actually usually play video games, but sometimes or here I had the opportunity because I know Hasse very long. She actually told me about having here an session where she's going to be where you're having the opportunity to play cats, and that grew my interest and was asking if I was able to join, and that's why I'm here.
Okay. Aldith.
Okay. Well, Brad and I have known each other for about 20 years.
Oh dear.
We
I
Yes.
can
Picked
hear
up
you.
like the first the first two words and then it stopped picking it up.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Brad and I have known each other for about 20 years, and we met at a LARP in San Francisco, and we've been together ever since. He does RP Glory and invited me to join this game because it's cats. And
Yes.
I'm a cat care professional, and we do a lot of rescue. And so this seemed like a perfect match.
It
And
does seem like a really good match.
oh, thank you.
I mean, before the stream started, we already had the background sounds from your cat
Yes,
saying hi.
there's an ongoing war between Rivercat and Drizzt, and we almost thought about playing those characters, but we figured that the ongoing animosity would be too disruptive. It's certainly
Yeah,
disruptive
no.
around here.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about characters, as customary in Fate, which is the game system that we will be using, we will make our characters during the first session. But first, before we do that, let me tell you guys a little about the world, for as far as you have or have not read the book Basically, you guys will be playing cats in an old mining town called Silverford. And as cats, you're obviously superior to humans. I mean, you know, humans have some interesting skills. You know, they can make intricate machines and interesting things.
You can open
But-
cans.
I know.
They can rub your belly.
That too. But when it comes to magic and the things that go bump in the night in this world, they're a bit oblivious. Luckily, you know, we as cats are there to make sure that they don't get in too much trouble. We do tend to refer to the humans as burdens. You know, explains a little bit about our relationships. In the world we live in, there are sapient and non-sapient animals. A sapient animal is one capable of true thought, basically not merely driven by instinct. There are some species that are always gifted, such as cats and crows and ravens. While you know dogs and squirrels and mice rarely are. So it varies. Like you can have one sapient animal amongst a species with many non-sapient around them. Cats form a parliament. Not all cats are in the parliament, obviously, but you guys are the parliament of Silverford. You're led by a cat called Jezabella. As a parliament, it has some rules. Don't spy on each other from the astral plane. Don't maim or kill another member of the parliament except in self-defense, and never sacrifice a sapient being to power your magic. When it comes to magic, there are 4 schools you can pick from. Let me just copy the text because it's pretty important for character creation, so you guys may want to look that back. You've got warding, naming, shaping, and seeking. And when it comes to magic, a lot of the magic is powered using these kind of cat cliches, for instance. For warding magic to create like a defensive ward around a place, you need to sacrifice a little animal, for instance, a mouse. And as long as the animal stays there for a certain period of time, that area is protected. But humans tend to remove the mice, so you need to find good hiding places. There's also magic powered by cat choirs, and you're totally allowed to make your own. When we were talking about this, Mirko already suggested that there were some rituals involving you throwing objects off counters and tables and things like that. So it's totally possible to make your own magic, and there's also a host of suggested magical stunts. And I think the last thing you need to know for character creation is that as a cat, you already have, you know, certain cat abilities. You know, you're better at walking on ledges and things like that than a human would be. So if you do things that being a cat would give you an advantage on, you can invoke your high concept, even if it doesn't have the word cat in it or something like that. So
I have one question.
yes.
Is it possible to talk with other sapient beings of a different species?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
No problem.
All right.
You don't even need to know a language or anything. You can just talk to them.
Okay.
So I've posted the 5 aspects that you guys can get. The first is the traditional high concept, and the second is the trouble. Does anybody not know what those are? Okay. Then
Oh.
there's the burdens.
I'm a little bit not sure what the true name and free aspect is, or will we get to that?
Oh, the free aspect. Yeah. I'm gonna do the other 3 aspects now. The
Okay.
burdens are the human or humans that you take care of. So that can be a family or one person or a whole street. Cats have a true name. Basically, names are really important. Humans are careless. They just throw their true name around for everybody to find. And if you know somebody's true name, your magic on them will be more powerful and you'll be able to do things you couldn't do if you didn't know their true name. True name tends to take the form of something like hold on, where's the examples? A true name can take things like Master of Shadows or Secret Ninja, or like all kinds of like these like 2-word like descriptions. Cats have 3 names. They have their names that humans give them, which they basically try to ignore and are insulted if anybody calls them that. That should know better. They have their kitten names, which change into their adult names later. It's basically, the name you'll be referenced in game. And then they have their secret name. And they won't, like, you probably won't tell your secret name to anybody unless you really, really trust them and need them to, provide you with certain magic defenses or things like that.
Sorry about that.
And
That's
the free
Elijah.
aspect is just an aspect that you can choose for free. So that's just any kind of aspect. So does anybody have any ideas about maybe their characters or their high concept or trouble that they wanna?
Yes. Brad and I discussed this yesterday, so I have some ideas.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, go ahead. So what I'd like to play is sort of an elder, atavistic type of cat who is kind of unique because he gets along with other kitties, even those that tend to be fighty. He just sort of is this like bubble of peace. He's kind of based on a cat that we used to have. But his unfortunate trouble is that he'll spontaneously vomit.
Okay.
And the other cats sort of politely ignore it. Like, they'll like be dispensing wisdom or whatever and sort of have to turn away and pork up a hairball or something. And then everyone is like sort of, and then he's done and goes back to whatever. So does that work within the...
Okay. So when you create your concept, if you basically will want to be good at a certain school of magic, because you can choose one school as your main school. Multiple people can have the same school, but you can't have more than one school as your main school. And basically having a school as your main school allows you to unlock some advanced stunts within that school.
Okay.
If you guys look at, I think it's the second tab for you, you should see a character sheet there. Respectively, like Aldif's cat, Brad's cat, Flo's cat, etc. That is your character sheet. You can use that to write your aspects down if you have some ideas for those. And common high concept aspects are things like patient shaper or arrogant namer, things like that. You can have it in more like a longer or more advanced aspect,
this?
but these are common aspects at least for high concepts. Does anybody else have any ideas about their high concept in trouble?
I wanted to first, before deciding on the high concept, I wanted to ask the rest of the players what they basically, I wanted to discuss what every one of us wants to which school we want to master, I guess, so we don't just get like 4 of the same school and stuff.
Fair enough. Yeah, why don't you guys write your preference down, then we can read it as a like an overview in the chat. I think that's
Okay.
easier than everybody trying to talk at the same time.
Okay.
I technically just skimmed through everything, so I actually have even no idea what this is. Wait.
Yeah,
Where's
so
the list of the attributes or the high concepts?
There isn't a list of high concepts right now. We're
Schools?
Yeah.
Okay, where's that?
I'm probably alright with any of them except for naming. I don't really like it.
That's awesome because I prefer it.
Okay, I see warding, naming, shaping.
yeah, I've written them
Sequence.
down in the chat
Yeah.
a little higher. Warding is the school of protection and defense. And naming is the school of manipulation and control. So warding can like protect a certain zone, for instance. Naming can like actually mind control somebody. Shaping can change the body, and seeking are the seers, the fortune tellers.
So I think that perhaps an issue is that everybody is there, or there's a lot of concentration on shaping, seeking. Maybe, okay, now there's a fair bit of people saying naming.
There's 3 schools. 3 out of 4 schools divided over everybody. We don't need to have all the schools. So
I will.
it's okay if 2 people have the same school.
I can also go with wording. As I said, I'm fine with any of them except for the naming one.
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't mind naming, except that I'd rather not have sacrificing another animal is like a basic part of any magic I do.
That's okay.
Which
If
is,
you can come up with some other good way, but I also know that Moko is interested in naming and Aldith is interested in naming or seeking, so I think we've got naming covered. Basically, the question is somebody going to go for wording? If so, is it going to be Flo or DB? You guys are going to have to decide that between yourselves.
I'll go for wording.
If you go for warding, then I stay with seeking.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got wording, seeping, and naming. And then we've got another naming or seeking, or another shaping or seeking. So, Aldith and Brad, which one do you want?
Well, it sort of depends on which concept, like high concept, I go with, which is going to be sort of based off of what other people do. I kind of want to balance out,
Okay.
Whatever we do. I have a couple of different character concepts in mind, all of which I find interesting, but I would sort of want to choose it based off of having a little bit more information about what other people are doing, just to have a variety of different approaches.
I think I want to play something like a big fat cat that has the concept something like Wise Seeker, and the trouble that it is not as agile as the other cats, and so they tend to make fun of her because of that.
You could do
If
a
that's
trouble
possible.
of something along the lines of I like canned food just a little bit too much.
Yeah, something like this.
Or a trouble along the lines of I know how to open cans or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I live in a canning factory. You could totally go with Seeking Eldith. We have both a Seeker and a Namer, so it doesn't really matter. So go whatever you want. Okay, so make sure to put that in your character sheet, Flo.
Yeah.
So we have 2 cats already.
Where do I actually put it in? Because for me, everything is new here, so I
Okay,
have...
at the top right, you see a bunch of icons, right? If you click on the second
Yeah.
icon, you should see
Yeah, okay,
your
I
character.
found the sheet, but I don't know where to put it in.
Oh, okay, you click on the sheet and then you can see a bunch of tabs at the top, and the second tab says character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And there you can fill in your character's high concept and trouble and
The
things
high
like that.
concept is then the naming thing, right?
Yeah, that'd be like an arrogant Persian namer, or whatever it was that you wanted to specifically go for, or stubborn or whatever.
Wait, concept means like how the way the character is made, right?
The high concept is just a very rough description of your character. If you had to describe your character in one sentence, then that would be it, basically.
Gotcha.
And you have to have the namer in there. So yeah, I don't know if you have any ideas for your high concept.
Yeah. Another way of
share them with me.
thinking of high concept, if I may, is it's what makes your character unique from everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's often helpful to have both positive and negative aspects to the aspect, so that you can call upon it to do something, to help do something awesome, but it could also be a disadvantage
Used
as well,
against you.
because that. But having it both be having it be a disadvantage also helps you to gain fate points, which is the sort of the currency for doing awesome things. If that makes any sense at all.
Okay. Gotcha.
That would be my high concept.
Okay, your trouble sounds like something maybe to do with your inexperience as a younger cat. Maybe you're not taken serious, or maybe you are just a bit inexperienced and clumsy. Kittens, they don't always walk in straight lines and things like that. So we have an old cat. What concept did you go for, Mako?
Oh. The overly fluffy Persian namer.
Okay, an overly fluffy Persian namer. Think about whether overly fluffy could be used, like whether you could use it and in what ways to get advantages, and whether it could be used against you to generate fate points. Then Flo is going for the big wise cat. Brad, how about you?
So there's I have it narrowed down to 2 at this point.
Okay.
One would be the sort of the human suck up. She doesn't consider her. She doesn't call her burden a burden. Uh, uh, she'd call it call her mommy.
Aw.
And would like actually go
I
by
have a feeling she'll get
you
laughed
know
at a
her.
little bit for doing that.
I'm sorry.
I have a feeling she'd get laughed at a bit for doing that.
Yeah, could be. And she'd probably often go by her human given name, that sort of thing. The other is it's sort of verging on what Flo is doing, but sort of not. Would be sort of a bear of a cat that's a shaper. So like not fat, but just like
Big boned.
well, no, just huge. Uh, I'm blanking on the breed, and I should know because I have a T-shirt with
Well,
one
Maine
on it.
Coon cat?
Maine Coon.
which one do you want to go for?
I would be fine with both.
Just go for the one that you think you'll have the most fun with.
Yeah.
I mean, I can roll the
Okay.
dice for you if you prefer.
Well, okay, so I'm not sure which school I'd go with for the suck up.
Well, shaping is not taken by anybody. That's definitely not necessary, but you could take that for that reason.
Okay.
If you think about a suck up, then I don't think naming would make any sense.
Yeah.
Wording might to protect your human.
Yeah, that was
Seeking
what I was going to
might
say.
as well to communicate with the human.
If you want to take the wording, I will. Then the shaping is left, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
shaping.
I like shaping. Hmm. But well, give me just a moment. Let's go on. I'll certainly catch up.
Okay. Does everybody have their high concept and their trouble, or is somebody still missing any of those, or having trouble coming up with any of them?
I'm still doing my trouble. I think I have something.
Okay. Well, if you have trouble with finding your trouble, then let us know like what the ideas are in your head, and then we can come up with suggestions. Or if you just want to do it yourself and need more time, then we can move on to the next subject.
I think wait.
Is the trouble supposed to be invocable?
Yeah. It's usually when you invoke the trouble, it's more of a case of, hey, because of my past experiences, I learned to deal with this a bit better. That's usually how you invoke troubles. I'm not too I don't care if you have like a less troubly trouble or something that's almost only compellable. Like it's fine as long as it's a good aspect. It doesn't necessarily have to be a trouble if you can't come up with something. Good troubles would make other cats that you might have a feud with, or physical limitations, or maybe mental. Maybe your cat is not that smart. Could be that you're superstitious or haunted, or really don't like certain spiritual beings or fairies or things like that. Cat who's afraid of ghosts.
Wait, can the concept be something which will like be something good and at the same time negative?
Yes.
Because
Okay.
I was thinking like this big fluffy cat, and then that's like the big treat or trait of the cat, but at the same time it's as well the trouble because my cat is used to keep this keep the appearance to get what it wants, but at the same time it needs always to maintain the appearance, so it's super concerned about it. So
Okay.
like running around muds and everything can bring you into the into it.
How about this? A vain namer. Is that how you write vain?
Yes.
Okay. A vain namer. That basically, like, vain basically describes, I care about my appearance and everything. And you can use it to or maybe if you want to make it sound more positive, it's like a well-groomed namer. And that would be invocable and compatible both ways, I think. You
That
mean
be a
in a
good trouble?
sarcastic way?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
I don't know if cats are usually afraid of dogs in the world, but
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
It won't come up very much in this adventure, though.
Okay. Then probably something else.
That's another thing about the adventure. The adventure is relatively short. I don't think we're going to be done in one session, especially because we're doing character creation, but it's going to be relatively short. So just like after we started playing, after the first session or whatever, let me know that if you guys want to spend more time in this world and if you want me to create more adventures.
Would a cat that is afraid of mice be a possible concept? Trouble?
Definitely. You could do rats. I think rats would even be more adventure
Okay.
appropriate.
Sure. Let's see how this goes.
Okay, so does everybody have their trouble now? Or is there somebody who doesn't have their trouble? Or high concept?
Okay. So I'm going with the human-loving shaper. I guess I'll.
Okay.
I mean, the human-loving part uh, I guess sort of encapsulates the disrespect you would get from other cats for that, but maybe that should be the trouble as well.
Let's see.
Maybe perceived as silly or frivolous or something.
Yeah, you could do that. You could just like what I'm thinking is you could kind of encapsulate your trouble in two aspects, like in your burden and your high concept. Like turn your burden into something like a little too attached to, well, insert the name of your human or human family. So that would create like a double trouble, and then you can just have two free aspects instead of a separate trouble.
Okay.
Brad?
Yes.
You still there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If nobody else has something to mention, let's move on to our burdens. So does anybody have any ideas about which human or humans they would like to be protecting in this world?
Yeah, I do. I have this idea of a house that's probably a little bit on the edge of the village or town,
Mhm.
where a family lives and they have like a garden and some animals and stuff like this. So they're kind of away from the village, but still in the village, I guess.
Okay. Well, come up with a name for your family or the house that you're protecting or whatever it is. Anybody else?
Well, mine will definitely be a single person rather than like a whole family or area. I'm just coming up with a name.
Okay. Are you protecting a woman or a man?
I think a woman.
Okay. I have a wild idea. How about you and this woman kind of grew up together. She used to be a street urchin, and you kind of that's why like you actually both lived on the streets together and had to depend on each other to survive, and that's why you got so attached to each other.
Okay, I could go with that.
And maybe now she has she has a job in a house or not. That's up to you. How about you, Flo? Do you have any ideas about the human or humans you're protecting?
Yes, I was thinking about it, and something like a young woman at about 20, 25, something about this, who is single, is the one I live with. I think about the name something like Veronica, I don't know. Came up my mind.
Sure.
And yeah, I live together with her since all my life, since she was a teenager or something.
Okay. Yeah. And when you guys are making aspects for your burdens, like try to add something extra. For instance, the leader of your of the Parliament of Cats, Jezebella, her burden is the witchy widow Haggerty, something like that. Haggerty. So that kind of adds a little extra to this old lady that she lives with, where the kids in town think she's a witch. So you could add a little bit of extra, the very kind, or the solitary or whatever your burden is like, basically.
I
How
think
about
I
you?
have mine. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Eldith. What were you saying?
Okay, mine is a couple who are the local craftspeople. They
Okay.
like do carvings and make things for the locals. So sometimes they like work symbols or local legends into the carvings that they do, like for the furniture or whatever. I don't have names for them yet.
Okay. A suggestion could be to, instead of carvers, make them like that they make statues from silver, since this town used to be known for its silver mines.
Okay. That definitely works. I was just thinking of people who are makers of some kind, but silver works as well as carving.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I have like the idea of either a couple or like a single person. I don't know if I should specify as male or female yet, which is actually not a very long relationship. It's just like very short first for now. But I got bought from them from like the pet store, or I got bought mainly for an accessoire reason. So
So you have rich owners.
yeah, I have rich owners, and they they usually they see me as like the accessoire because the Persian cat, which is like fluffy and lying around, a certain sense of status, and the relationship I have to them because we're both very new. We just think about each other as accessoires. Like they think I am their accessoire, but actually I think that they are my accessoire, and I see them too. Yes, I need to protect them because they are like the show off of.
Yeah, they're the
Um,
humans who can afford the really good food.
Yeah, right.
Fair enough.
The classy wet food.
Yes.
But
One
do I
question:
need to do anything with this? Okay.
Where can I write down the burden? In bio and info, or where at the character sheet?
Okay, so you click on your character sheet and then you have bio, or you click on your character and then you have bio and info, and the second tab says character sheet.
Yes.
And then you see below your aspects, you see add,
Yeah.
and you can add extra aspects to
Okay.
it.
So there I write down my burden, yeah?
Yes, and then you sometimes need to click the button twice. Usually it works after one time, but it has something to do if you have the field selected and such. So then after the burdens, unless somebody has a question about that still, we move on to the true name. You can share your true name with the group, even if you do, unless you say so, their characters still wouldn't know it. But you can also keep it a secret for yourself. There's anybody who has trouble finding a true name or wants to discuss something about that.
Will we be using that for something other than just having it as a name, or using it for spells and trying to figure out what the true name of the others of the
So
other
you use
characters
it
are?
for spells. It's not a name that anybody's gonna call you, because it's secret, right? And if people call you, then it's out in the open. So it's you use it as an aspect that you can invoke and compel. So here you have a lot of freedom to decide, like, oh, I want to be able to do this very well, or I want to be good at that, whatever. And it's basically a regular aspect, but it's a very secret aspect, basically.
Okay.
And we all know each other's secret name, or is it?
Not unless you tell the rest.
And it's usually a 2-word sort of descriptive thing.
That's a good question. Was it descriptive or is it just a name?
No, it was something like it can be something like strong warrior or dark heart or brave protector or any like 2-word description, 3-word if you prefer, that describes a certain thing about your character, I guess. And it comes to you in your dreams once shortly after you reach adulthood as a cat. So does everybody have their true names?
Yep.
Yes.
How about you, Miku?
I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Basically, think of what would describe the true soul of your cat, where vain namer describes the outside. The true name describes, you know, the real heart and soul of your cat. Let's you can always wait with that and
Yeah,
do it later
I'll
when you
come back later too.
sure. And then the last aspect is a free aspect, so you can totally choose that for yourself. You can, for instance, in the book they suggest using it to forge bonds between each other, but that's not necessary. You can do that if you want. There's, for instance, you know, there's an example they give in the book is I scratch your back, you scratch mine, to signify a relationship between two cats that helped each other out in the past. If you guys have trouble with coming up with one of those, we can always start with the adventure. I'm gonna ask you, like, in the beginning of the adventure, I'm gonna ask you what the last threat was you dealt with, and maybe that can help you get ideas, or you could even do it halfway when you feel like you kind of want to portray a certain aspect of your character that you don't have an aspect for yet.
Well, what kinds of threats do we tend to come across?
Threats can be mundane as well as magical. So it could be a human trying to break into the house of your burden. It could be a pixie who's, you know, making trouble around the neighborhood. It could be a scary ghost who's haunting people or trying to kill them. And all kinds of different things, you know, a rabid dog or a spirit from the other side or anything. Nightmares. Don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Okay, anybody else have any questions about their free aspect or have trouble coming up with one?
I'm having trouble coming up with one.
Okay,
But I think it will be something like always tries to shine, I guess. To stand out.
you were playing the young cats.
Yep.
Right. So, yeah, maybe it has something to do with the fact that you live amongst a lot of animals in the farm, and either you want to stand out between them and show them that you're a leader, or maybe, you know, you have a lot of social contacts because of that, or are particularly good at talking to other animals or things like that. By the way, if any of you guys have suggestions for each other, feel free to, you know, let each other know.
Maybe something for Demi like extremely curious because you are a young cat, or pretty agile than usual, more agile than usual, something like this.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Anybody else who has trouble with their free aspect?
I think I got mine.
Okay, we'll just think about it. Let's move on to skills. since you guys, maybe that gives you guys as well some inspiration for any aspect that you didn't have fleshed out yet. So let me make a copy of the skill list. The main difference with the normal skill list for those who are already used to Fate is that contacts and resources is replaced with territory. Basically, you'd roll on your territory to see if you can find that scroll that you need for a rare magical spell, and you'd use it to figure out if anybody's talking behind your back and things like that. Then of course there's the 4 magical skills. You can totally have magical skills that are not your main magical skill, but the limitation is your main magical skill needs to be the highest, and your main magical skill is the only one that you can use the advanced stunts from. So that's a list of the skills. You guys can have 1 great, 2 good, 3 fair, and 4 average skills. So basically fill in the white things in the skill list on your character sheet.
Was it 1 great, 2 good?
Yeah, if you look at your character sheet, you can see there's the skill thing, and there's like a pyramid of white boxes. Just
Yeah,
fill
okay.
in pyramid. For those who are not used to Fate, empathy is a sense motive skill. You use it to figure out what somebody else is up to, or understand their feelings or things like that. Report, for some reason unknown to any of us, is the skill you use when you're trying to be nice or have a positive mood. It's like a social talking skill. Provoke is then the more negative variant of that, if you're trying to intimidate people and things like that. Another thing to note is that your will and your physique increase your they increase your hitboxes. So if you guys were to get in a fight, which is totally not necessary in Fate, but you could, then will would give you more mental hitboxes, and physique would give you more physical health. Does anybody need help deciding on their skills?
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there a skill that's equal to agility?
Yes, that would be athletics.
Okay.
I think I want to change my trouble, by the way.
Sure. It's something worth noting is athletics is like the physical things more tied to being fast and athletic and dexterous and things like that, and physique is more about being strong. It's like lifting weight and pushing things and such.
What did you say? What was territory good for?
So territory replaces the contacts and resources options. So basically, when you're trying to find something to need, or when you're trying to hear like the gossip in the streets, or trying to find some information, or trying to find the right guy for the job or things like that, then you use territory. And in story wise, it just says like, hey, I have a lot of territory as a cat, so you have that I guess that pride. Cats are always fighting over territory. You can totally try to steal territory from other cats.
So I think I have my skills.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
How about everybody else?
I'm done shortly.
Okay. Miko, are you done with your
Yep,
skills?
I think so.
Eldith?
Yeah, just finished.
Then I'll give you guys a minute to make sure that you're
Okay, I'm
entirely
done
done.
here as well.
Okay. And then once we have the skills, we move on to the stunts. So you guys have 3 normal stunts. So that would be stunts related to your to any skill but the magical skills basically, or not even related to a skill. And you have 3 magic stunts. As said, the exclusive magic stunts, as they're called, require the high concept to contain like the relevant title, like warden, namer, shaper, seeker. So there's a lot of suggested stunts that they have that you can use. Let me find you guys the different ones. Does everybody have the book actually? Maybe that's easier.
I do.
I do have it.
Do you have the book, Eldith?
No.
Was that
Should be able
a
to pull
yes
up a
or a
copy.
no? Aldith?
That's a no.
Okay. Could you send her a copy, Brad?
Yeah.
Or actually, let me hold on. I have it here. I'll send you a copy on via Skype. And then you guys, I'll tell you what page to go in a moment because I had to close it to send it. Where are you? Ignore the page number written there. That was a page I was at like 2 weeks ago, and then I never really changed it. So these stunts. So starting on page 26, you can find the normal stunts. Obviously, you're not restricted to the stunts that are written there, but it's easy to use as inspiration, and there are some fun ones in there. And in the pages above that are the stunts of the various magical skills. Let me find the specific pages for you guys. So, School of Warding is described on page 14, and below that are the warding stunts. The School of Naming is described on page 17. Below those are the naming stunts. School of Shaping is described on page 20. and below that are the shaping stunts. And the School of Seeking is described on page 22, and below that are the seeking stunts. For magic stunts as well as for normal stunts goes that you can make up your own. So 3 normal stunts, 3 magic stunts, and potentially 2 more stunts of one of those if you give up refresh. So for those who are not too familiar with Fate, at the beginning of the session you start with 3 Fate points. That's your normal refresh rate. But you can lower your refresh rate and take extra stunts instead. So you could start with 2 Fate points at the beginning of the session, or 1 Fate point at the beginning of the session instead of 3, and get extra stunts if you want. How about we take a break? Everybody can get something to drink, and then after the break, you can just all pick your stunts for yourselves, or if you have questions, you can ask me, and I can help you look for stunts if you have trouble.
Okay.
So let's take a 5-minute break or so, and then after that, we can all do our stunts.
Sounds good.
What the hell is going on out there?
All right.
That didn't sound like it went very fluent. Okay.
Well, that was ugly. And because of the drama going on outside, and because you were working on downloading the book, I didn't get any of the.
How did you push down?
At what point do we call the police?
It's just an argument.
Hmm?
It's just an argument.
Hmm.
It's a pleasant. So I have it open to the normal stunts.
For what?
I have it open to the normal stunts.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey.
I do. I just put some water for tea, so I'll be AFK in a few minutes again.
Sure. Everybody will be doing their own stunts anyway.
Maybe it's just me not doing any research beforehand, or at least a little of it. But this character creation kind of feels rushed to me.
Hmm.
I don't know
It does.
if it's just me, but
Well, I never made a character in this, so I'm actually just filling in stuff which I don't know.
I think it can kind of work, and I understand why they do it in Fate. But I do prefer, I think, my own method where I talk to each player individually and talk to them. And I think like the reason why they do it in Fate as a group is because of the fact that it's good to talk to your players about their characters, and you just get a better GM player understanding, and the characters tend to be more evolved and things like that, and they tend to be more story focused. But I mean, you achieve the same thing if you do it individually with the players, and you can kind of like take more time and do the whole thing. And then you have the advantage of, overnight you come up with more ideas for your character. I mean, you can do the same thing here, right?
yeah.
But I think it's like more relaxed if you do it one-on-one.
And the system is very good about letting you tweak things after the character is already made as well. The system is really good about letting you tweak things after the character is already made. Like, built into it at the end of each session, you can, change one thing, as well as being able to, add stunts on the fly.
I still think it's easier to change your character beforehand rather than halfway.
Sure.
Because if you do it beforehand, you don't get attached to a mechanic or aspect or whatever that is maybe less interesting. I mean, I guess if it's less interesting, you might not get attached to it, but and you can like you won't have a reason to change it, right? If you come up with a good one straight away, even though that's very hard, you won't have the disappointment of having to play a session with a bad character and then be like, meh, not really an exciting character, I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, Fate is very flexible, and I think it's okay to do it this way, but I think the whole one-on-one thing still has my preference.
So,
I want to ask if I can create my own stunt. I don't have it. Basically, my idea is to make this. What was the word? The protection thing that warding does. I want to make it more efficient, more effective if I am hidden somewhere, like stealthed somewhere.
Okay.
In
Ceiling cat.
basically, if I sneak up somewhere and then create, for example, in a hostile territory, I create this thing to protect my party. I want it to be more effective if it's somewhere else other than my territory or somewhere neutral, and if in hostile territory and hidden, I guess the warding thing is more effective in some way.
I think yeah, sure. Go ahead. You can just give it a +2 in those situations, or a secondary effect if you don't like the idea of a +2.
For now, I would just put the +2, and because I'm not really sure how the mechanic would play out. So after that, we may change it to a secondary effect or something like that.
Sure.
Actually, I wonder a bit how this plays out, like how the the burdens are like around you, or do you have a lot of like how much of a factor they're in?
They can be a big factor in like specific adventures, but they're a relatively small factor usually, unless you guys make them a big factor. Burdens are more of a kind of a constant background factor. Like they're around, so you need to not do crazy shit in town. Don't start, controlling people random over the place, and make
Okay.
sure that you put a halt to random like menaces that are on the loose, and then that's really the extent that you'll be dealing with burdens most of the time. They're a background motivation basically for some of the choices you make. But if you are excited, like in the case of like it was Brad, right, with the overly attached character, like
Uh-huh.
he might decide to make burdens a bigger thing, or not burdens, of course, mummies,
Yes.
mummies and daddies. Tell me, Brad, does your mummy live on the streets, or does she have a house?
She's homeless. It's sad.
Hmm?
She's homeless.
No.
Yeah.
Where does she live then?
Just whichever alleyway nobody else is taking at the time. She has one that she uses more often than others. It's just a sort of a quiet alleyway. And she has like let's call it a cardboard box there that I'm good enough not to claw up.
So I have a question about stunts. I think it was similar to another one, but basically, because of my cat's coloring, which is sort of a deep blue-gray, he's able to almost disappear into darkness because in most normal darkness, the shade of gray that he is just blends completely.
Yeah.
Thus his secret name.
Oh, don't tell us.
I'm not going to tell you, but in any case,
Well, in Fate, there is a lot of you're basically supposed to have a lot of meta knowledge, so that your character doesn't have, and then you're supposed to be able to understand that you just play around this knowledge. For the simple reason of the power it gives you as a player to direct the story more.
right.
So you could tell it if you want. Their cats would still not know it if you didn't allow them to know it, but the world doesn't end if you accidentally mention it, for
Right.
instance.
But how would is that skill something that would be possible for him to have, and how would that be described under stunts?
So you're asking if there's a stunt for doing that?
Yes.
Okay, so in darkness you would be able to hide better, right? So as a stunt, if you want to do it very straightforward, you can say that you simply get a +2 to stealth when it's dark.
Okay.
There are. What was the school you chose?
Seeker.
A seeker. Okay, because there are specific stunts in the different schools as well that I need to find for a moment, but that would that allow you to actually turn into like things like a shadow cat and things like that.
That's exclusive shaping.
Is it an exclusive one?
Yeah. The
Well, there's
only
two, I
shaping
think.
stunt that you can get if you're not an expert in it is
Oh yeah, the double shape.
the
But
yeah.
there's more than just shaping. I think there's more stunts.
Actually, I really like the stunts of naming.
They're awesome, aren't they?
Yes, I can make my
There's
own show.
shadow armor, but that's also an exclusive for warding.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're just exclusive in that case.
Where do I find the magic stunts?
So the magic stands for seeking. If you go to page 22, there is the general description of seeking. What you can normally do without stunts, and then on the next page there's the seeking stunts, the dream walking stunt and the prognostication stunt, and the psychometry on like some pages down.
You did say we can have 3 magic stunts and 3 normal stunts, right?
Yes,
Okay.
and then
You can
potentially
still
up to
spend-
2 more.
Yeah. Or 3. You can spend all of your refresh, right?
No, this specific adventure won't allow you to spend
Okay.
your last fate point, which I think is sensible.
I can choose if I choose 2 more if they can be magic or normal, right?
Yes, or 1 magic and 1 normal or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally up to you. So yeah, Aldith, since you went for School of Seeking, I think what makes most sense is to just buy it to stealth and turn it into a +2 when you're in darkness.
Okay.
And then whenever you make your own stunts, don't forget to give them a cool name. Very important part.
Mine is Brave Burglar.
Ooh, are you a brave burglar?
Well, yeah, I have to sneak up somewhere and then be brave and create this and protect my people.
Okay, brave burglar. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
It's not that cool, but
Is it just me, or is all this webcam flickering her hair between pink and red?
For me it's as well. Making a show.
What is the real color? Is it pink or is it red?
It's a little bit of both.
There might be some magic going on there.
I think so. It's like special color changing hair.
Yes.
It's a new thing you can get from Manic Panic.
I wanted to ask if anyone is taking any warding skill, since the stunt that's free for everyone is. I'm wondering if I should take it or not, because it's kind of a party thing and not just personal.
Skill. I took shadow armor.
I don't think you can.
Shadow
That's
armor
exclusive.
is an exclusive stunt.
Oh, so it means you can only take it if you are master at warding? Ah, alright.
Basically,
okay.
the stunts that say exclusive between brackets behind them are the ones that you can only take if it's your school.
Alright, okay.
Also, could you remind me what?
And it's also not a good idea to take a stunt in a magic school if you don't have points in it, because I believe that if you don't have points in it,
I do have 2
Okay.
points in warding.
Okay.
Well, then you can only take the invisibility stunt, which I don't know if you will want to use.
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Because
Okay.
otherwise, the only thing you can do with warding is basically create a protected area, and I will be doing this anyway if we're together. So you might want to spend your points doing something else. Because
No, it's okay. Some
Okay.
some stuff has to overlap anyways.
Hazu, could you remind me what kind of stress boxes I get with 1 physique and 2 will?
So yeah, up to 2. Like up to fair, you get 1 extra.
Okay.
So
So a 3 stress box.
yeah, of each.
And what's the social thing? What's the social stress thing?
Something extra. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's probably for specific game like Fate systems.
You mentioned just something with this +2 in this stunts. You shouldn't take the stunts if you don't have additional stunts. Does this mean like in the skills or?
Hmm?
It
Because
means
that's
you shouldn't take the magical stunts from a school of magic if you don't have any skill points into this school of magic. For example, it doesn't make sense for me to take any of your naming stunts because I don't have any naming skill.
Yeah, basically normally with skills, you don't have a problem using them, even if you don't have them trained, you just use them as a plus 0. But for the magic schools, it works a bit different. If you don't have at least like 1 point into them, you get like some disadvantages. I should really read up on that.
Okay, so it means like I can take my naming stunts if I have the skill naming, right?
Yeah, you can also take other stunts, but you would want to have the skill in them. You can take them, but you just
You
want
can
the
take
skill.
my ward. You can take invisibility from warding, but if you don't have warding that's like average or fair skill, you will be the stunt will basically be useful because you will be bad at it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can take
okay.
it, but it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Okay. This makes
That's the
sense
thing.
then for me.
Yeah. And Brad, can I?
Mhm.
Yeah, basically, I wanted to ask you if you're all right with me taking some shaping ability.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Are you taking any
Yeah, if
shaping
you try to
stunts?
use a magical skill at mediocre, which is +0 or below, you must pay a serious cost, regardless of whether you succeed, tie, or fail. So basically, you'd be like mentally injuring yourself or something like that when you use the magic you don't at least have a +1 in.
Oh, I just took almost all of I just took all the skills of the
Fair enough.
have to think of because they all were awesome. So
Yeah.
at least for the character I had.
Yep. Yes, I think naming is perfect for your
Perfect.
Persian cat. Yes, perfect.
Demi?
I want to ask something else as well. I got the stand. It's not what you know, which is you never bother to learn much. You've got others for that. You can use territory instead of lore to know stuff you heard from others.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but is it something like I make up the story where someone told me something, or because I'm not sure how exactly that would be used. That's what I'm asking.
If somebody in your territory would reasonably know that, so let's say the people in your territory are maybe not, the world's wisest or cats or bats or rats or whatever you have in your territory. But they know a bunch of like, I guess less secretive things.
Okay.
And then
Maybe
you
the
can just
dog
make up
knows
that.
some stuff about the burden, and the ducks know stuff about the worms and such.
Yeah, basically, just if something is really difficult or scientific knowledge, they probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
And then you can just make up the story like, oh well, the other day, if you roll high enough, obviously.
Of course.
Oh, and Demi, were you taking any shaping stunts?
No, I just want to be able to shapeshift for advantage purposes.
Okay.
Shaping is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because yeah, the only stunt I can get is the multiple shaping, which I don't think it makes sense if I'm just at +1.
What is it?
I just read like some of the stunts I've already won.
And how does armor work?
Oh, right. So Fate has some weapon and armor qualities that I totally didn't have time to look up anymore. So I should probably do that. It's
Oh,
some kind of
this
advanced
part
Fate
can-
core thing. It's in Fate core, but like the last time I read it, it sounded needlessly complicated, so I never really paid attention to it. But it's basically like you can have like a +3 armor, which basically cancels out if the enemy has a +3 weapon or things like that. Probably that
Okay.
it has like a +3 extra shifts of damage when it hits or something like that.
Yeah, could you check it out, because one of my
I will. What? Search. Armor.
So in the meantime, do you guys want to, if you're ready with your stunts, of course, say a kind of, you know, what our characters do and such, so we have an idea how to work with each other, I guess?
Yeah, sure.
I can start. Yeah, basically I'm my job is basically to create a protective field around the place we're at, and if you guys get in trouble, attacked, or stuff like that, I can protect you by absorbing some of the damage, or just outright neglect, just canceling the attack you got attacked with. I can turn us invisible if I roll high enough, and I can pretty much stealth around, burglar around, and yeah, I'm also very good at territorial stuff, and this allows me to know some extra stuff as well. And I have some extra mental and physical rest boxes, and one extra mild mental consequence, which allows me to use my abilities more. So yeah.
Okay.
Mine, her greatest skill is rapport. So she's really good at getting along, particularly with humans, but with other beings. And then, sort of in contrast to that, she's got shaping and fight at good, and is able to change size. So it's not the first thing she'd go to, but if it comes down to a knockdown, drag out fight, she can become big and scary and swat things.
Swatting things is always nice. Okay.
Weren't we supposed to put our our magical thing as our best skill?
Not necessarily as your
Oh.
best.
Okay.
Hold on. Well, it needs to be better than your other magical skills.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's the. But it doesn't need to be your best skill. So I looked up armor and weapons, and basically, if you have like weapons 2, then your weapons deal 2 shifts more damage. If you have armor 2, then the attacks against you deal 2 less damage. And
Wait.
also this: if you hit somebody who has armor, and the target's armor reduces the shift value to 0 or below, but the attack still hits, then you get a boost instead of dealing any damage. So the attacker gets a boost if if you reduce their attack to 0
Oh, so if they
or
can
lower.
penetrate my armor, they don't deal extra. Wait, no, I don't get that.
If they can't penetrate your armor, they don't deal damage, but they get
Okay.
a boost instead. So it's kind of like
Well,
a little bonus for the attacker.
but a little bonus against the armor they can't penetrate anyway, or what?
Yeah,
But-
but it's a
but s-
boost they can use on their next turn to penetrate it.
Oh.
I think the idea is to make fights not last too long against armor users. Usually attack is always made a bit stronger than defense, so that the fights aren't unnecessarily drawn out.
Fair enough. Because yeah, I basically have a skill which gives me armor equal to my warding. I'm
Oh.
guessing the warding roll for the rest of the scene. So I have a +4 warding, so that would be a lot of armor.
I think it would just be the four armor. I think it would be your warding skill, not your warding roll, but I may be wrong.
Okay. Still, a 4 is.
Yeah,
Still
either way it's great.
nice. Yeah.
But I can only use that after nightfall or in dark places.
Fair enough. And probably only once per session as well, or?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Wait, that's a long skill.
Always.
Always.
But I take wait, no, I don't take. Yeah, no, wait. I have to read it again. Sorry.
Sure. Take your time.
I should also mention that I took a custom stunt. What a sweet kitty! +2 to rapport when using the overcome action on humans. I'm assuming that's not too wide a stunt
+2 to using the overcome action on what?
on humans.
Sure. Perfect. Made a lot of sense. I was already thinking that when you were talking about it.
But
Yeah.
is it report or?
Yeah.
Or okay.
So
Yeah, talk a little bit about your cat so that the rest of the group has a bit of an idea.
Okay, so my cat is especially good in the field of the mental defense, and when it comes to things like this, so it's especially good when it comes to dealing with ghosts or other spirits, and I took all the seeking stunts with it, but it's especially good in dream walking, which I still have to come up a unique stunt on my own. I'm still thinking of this, and she also has the skill I feel your pain, which means that once per session she can transfer the mental consequences of someone else to herself. And yeah, but the downside is that this cat is not particularly good when it comes to physical fights and stuff like this. Yeah, she's really bad at fighting, to say it this way. And yes, that's the kind of skill set this cat has.
Okay. How about Miku?
Well, I have like the puppeteer of. Like my cat is more of the puppeteer, and as well like a passive cat more by itself. Like, I am able to animate dead things or control other things up to like having additional friends in fighting. And it is like the cat is more of an observer than a direct fighter by itself. So one of the thing is that I can like I rather need to have time first before I can fight, but then if I will fight, I will have like better preparations for it. That is like the thing, and the other thing is I am very good at noticing things around me, or like I can sense or notice like invisible beings or astral beings, which are rather subtle.
I took that as well, by the way.
What says pre-natural awareness?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, I took
by
that
the
as well,
way,
but I think I'm gonna. If two other people already have it, I think I can get rid of it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
By the way, just so you guys know, it's totally possible to do the adventure without ever fighting.
Mhm.
You can fight. There's opportunities for that if you so wish to, but it is also totally possible to never ever even fight.
Yeah, if not, I can use my animated things to make a dance show. So I just
And this adventure, I think, kind of challenges the traditional ideas, if especially for people who come from a Dungeons and Dragons background. It's okay to walk away, for instance. You don't have to beat up. You can run away if something scary comes at you. You know, probably if it was real life, you would run away in certain cases. Doesn't mean you have to, but just keep in mind that that's going to be an option. That's, I think, the traditional dungeon crawl adventurers. You know, if you run away, then you're going to have a very boring game. Because the dungeon crawl was the game, but that's not the case here. Does everybody have their stunts? Or
yep.
rather, is there anybody who doesn't have their stunts yet?
No, I think I've got my stunts.
We can't hear you, Albus.
I think I have my stunts.
Okay.
So could you tell us something about your
Oh
character?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, my character is an older cat who has pretty much through his life taken younger abandoned kittens under his wing. So he is something of a peacemaker and easygoing and well liked, especially by the younger cats that he's fostered. But he also has a very stubborn streak. He's curious and investigative. He wants to know the why of things, and so he's got a lot of investigating, um, curiosity type traits and stunts. But he's also got stubborn because once he gets his uh, mind wrapped around an idea or something that he wants to know about, he won't let go.
Okay.
And
Well, those are always really good aspects to have because they can always be invoked against you, and you can use them in basically any situation. Like, oh yeah, but I do this because I'm stubborn, and so I want to get it through. So
exactly.
those are really like well created, powerful aspects to be using.
Cool. And he's definitely more of the kind of cat who would try to use his empathy and his rapport to get around a fight rather than engage in a fight. So I think that will work well.
Yep. Okay. Can you guys give me a few minutes to copy all your aspects to my document so that I can have an overview of it there, so that I know what to compel and things like that?
Sure.
If you want, you can.
I have one other question.
Sure.
What is with the name of the cat? I don't mean its true name, and
Oh yeah,
I
you guys
don't
can totally
mean...
make up a name for your cat, which can be any kind of name. So go ahead and do that.
Shall we create the name that the burdens give us too?
If you want, that's up to you.
Okay.
Where do you put the name on the character sheet?
So let's
ID,
see.
I guess.
By bio and info, I think, or I think you do. You either fill an ID or you click edit, And then you can edit the
Oh, right.
actual name of the character sheet. I just named them like after you guys, but you can obviously change the name of the character sheet now that you know the
And
name.
confuse you.
Yes.
We should all rename our sheet as, for example, I'm Moko's cat, and then Brad is Mitko's cat.
That would be very confusing, yeah. Ooh, I like your true name, Mako.
My coaster. Ew.
Ooh. You guys have really good true names. Reading yours right now, Aldith.
Now you have to compliment the rest, so we don't
I
feel
know.
Yeah.
we're bad at it.
Isn't that horrible? What did I do to myself? I can't help it. The names are so awesome.
Can I go get a cookie? I'm going to get a cookie. You like me this?
Well, I don't have cats, but I have bunnies. If you want, you can have some bunny feed.
But bunnies are dumb creatures, right? You cannot converse with them, so.
Not all of them.
What's that?
Ooh. I like your trouble, Brad.
Oh, thanks.
And your free aspect. Let's see. You have some very funny aspects, Flo.
Okay, thanks.
Secret?
It's fun to know this stuff when the rest doesn't.
I guessed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Um. What the fuck is with your picture, DB?
That's my cat, actually.
Is that your cat?
Yeah.
That is one weird ass cat.
It's actually the brother of the cat I'm basing my character around. On, not around.
Could you explain to me, maybe in a private message, what the first word of your true name is?
Oh, sure.
Okay, I have all the aspects. Okay, oh, that makes a lot of sense for a young cat. Okay, I think we are ready, unless anybody has anything they want to discuss beforehand.
Well,
Start our adventure.
I'm switching out one of my stunts real quick, and I'm only taking two of each, two general, two magical, with the idea of adding in the last one of each category later.
Fair enough. That makes a lot of sense for an adventure where you don't know what you're going to be using yet.
Yeah.
So sure. Knock yourselves out. So with me as a GM and with Fate as well, take a lot of freedom to make your own suggestions and your own input to the story. If you have an idea how a certain scene could be more awesome, or if you want to play out something specific, or if you have a suggestion for a compel for yourself or somebody else, go ahead and make it. Like, you don't have to be quiet. You're active participants in creating the story. Are you here, Moko?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Just not
We see a beautiful
the
empty
camp.
chair.
Yeah.
You went invisible. Do you have the invisibility stunt?
Vanished.
And Moko, you're playing a namer, right?
Yes, I am a namer.
A namer with a wireless headset. So, does anybody have any questions before we start?
Yeah. What? Well, this isn't like a particularly pertinent, but Flo, what were you playing again? What was your magical specialty?
I believe Flo is going for seeking.
Okay.
Yeah. What?
What is your magic school?
Yes, seeking.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, well, then I say be brave and go wild and have a lot of fun and make a lot of fun for yourself and everybody else.
Yeah.
So we start our I'd have to say early morning. On the meeting place. The meeting place is a field in the middle of the town. It's framed by flowers, and it has a large sand pit, which is really useful if you have a full bladder or something of the sort. It has a delightful array of framework climbing structures and ingenious moving things. And during the day, the cats of Silverford graciously allow children to play in this area, but at night it is your meeting area. So all of you have had a busy night. There were threats that each of you had to deal with individually, or maybe some of you together battled a joint threat. So why don't each of you shortly tell me what the threat is that you guys dealt with last night? So let's start at the end of the row. Eldith, what were you doing last night? What was threatening your burden?
Well, it's probably a cliche, but since they're silversmiths, someone perhaps broke into their workshop and wanted to see if there was any silver that they could steal. And I made I snuck up on them and made actually I was going to say hellacious racket, but I think given my cat, it was probably more likely that what he did was snuck around in the rafters and then jumped on the head of one of them out of nowhere and scared the living days out of them.
I wouldn't have wanted to be the burglar there.
And then the people woke up and came and chased them away.
Makes sense. How about you, Miku? What is the name of your cat? How shall I call you? Actually, all of you guys, you can change your name on Roll20 to the name of your cat. So if you click in the top right, you see a bunch of icons. Click on the little cogwheel in the far right, and there you can change your display name.
Yeah, okay. I haven't come up with a name of my cat. Wait.
Well, you could Google cat names on the internet and find.
Is it like not the true name, which we not the true name, but the cat's name we call each other?
Yeah, it's either your human name or your cat's name that you call each other. Probably the name you call each other. You might also want to keep your normal name in there so that we also know when we're referencing the player who we're referencing.
Okay. 1 second.
Okay, cool. So Blacktail, what threat were you battling?
I would say that I had like a furious fight with an astral being in the house of my burdens because they were trying to invade the place, and
Those astral beings.
yeah, they were like trying to invade the place, and during that time when the my burden were actually out of the house, so when they were there and invading it, I was defending it with some of the they have like a lot of puppets and any kind of different accessoires which are like laying around like decorations,
Phases and
and
photo
I
frames.
animated them to defend it versus those astral beings, and I had to push over everything which was like on the table, and during the fight I throw them away and throw them down and left like a big huge chaos all over the place just for that.
And I bet your burdens totally didn't understand it again.
Yeah, they were just mad at me for throwing down all the accessoires again and breaking all the glasses and looking at it and telling me why, or wearing like thinking like this cat is really again just doing all the creating just chaos in this very clean place.
But you have to be careful that don't return you.
Yeah, but I was just trying to be fluffy to charm them again, that they will say, okay, this is still fine. I had to be very, very hugging and petful just to make up for them again, so they will not think of it.
Yeah, what the humans would reference to is like puppy eyes. I didn't know why they write good skills to dogs, but you know.
True.
How about you, Carlo? What were you doing?
Yeah, so last night I heard some strange noises on the roof of the house, and yeah, the noises were getting closer, and then I saw at the window that there were two cats who were trying to get into the house, and yeah, they even managed to open the window and get into it, and they were trying to. They wanted to steal stuff, just wanted to get something for themselves, and I was able to persuade them that here's nothing useful for them to get, and that it's a better idea to be quiet and not wake up my burden, and yeah, they finally said, yeah, it's alright. They understood that it's a better idea not to uh, not to do any problems in this area, and so we I got kind of friend uh, we no not friends, but we had some sympathy for each other, and they finally accepted my uh, my friendly what is it,
Suggestions?
suggestions to leave the place.
They were young, weren't they? I
Yeah,
always
yes, they were quite young, and some stray cats very curious, looking around what to what else they can do and what there is to see, and yes, uh, they got convinced by my age and wisdom that they should better back off.
So at this meeting you're at, you five aren't the only cats. There are two more cats present. One of the cats is Jezabella, who you all know very well. She's a scrawny old black cat. Um, she's very dignified and wise. She's the leader of the parliament, and she totally like nods when she hears your story, Carlo, and she says, "Yeah, like these young cats are always so brash. I mean, they're sweet, but they sometimes, you know, don't think very well before they act."
Well, yeah, we we both know those kind of occasions happen. They are just like this at this young age. No problem. It's they didn't do any harm to me or my burden.
Okay, good.
Doc Kitty says they just need guidance.
Yes, a very firm guidance. Another cat who's present hasn't said anything up until now. The other cat present is called Sable, and Sable is a cat who lives in the same house as Jezabella, and she's grooming him to become her successor. He's a bit of an arrogant cat. He's got a coat so black that it's almost blue, and he has a splash of white on his chest. And he likes to always find like the higher places on some of the climbing structures so that he can look down upon you guys while the meeting is going on. You know, people accept him, but nobody really likes him.
So he's always wearing that tuxedo.
Basically. What is it? Dibby? DB?
Dibby.
Dibby. So tell us, Dibby, Jezebella says, what did you do last night?
Well, some winos were, well, I don't know. They smelled like that stuff that humans drink. That's all nasty and is unpotable. Were sort of encroaching on mommy, so I distracted them and led them away.
Okay. You see her. You see Sable frown a bit when you say "mummy." You know, he's not really hiding it, but he doesn't say anything.
That's okay.
um, how about you, Merle?
Well, I
And sit
was.
still, will you?
Hmm?
Stop twitching your tail like that. Just sit still and pay attention.
Um, First of all, not just wigging my tail and just looking around. When Tabo was it Tabo?
Mhm.
When he well, if he's somewhere higher, I probably saw his tail wiggling a little bit. So you know something is moving there. So I have to go check it out and play with it. So I would jump uh, jump up and just basically go exactly under him and start playing with his tail, and eventually notice that people, well, cats, are asking questions, and climb down and tell my story about how yesterday uh, well, I say but well, I heard the dog was just mindlessly barking at something, so I decided to go check it out, and I noticed several foxes
Dogs.
trying to. Hmm?
Dogs.
Yeah, just come on. And
Baby sniffs.
good thing I went there and checked it out, because I saw several foxes trying to get into my burden's garden and eat or kill and steal some of their chickens. Of course, I immediately jumped to action and made sure the foxes couldn't get in. But you know foxes, they're not as stupid as dogs. I mean, they
Yeah.
find their way in. So yeah, I had to jump into their way and hiss at them continuously until they got scared of me, of course, not of the barking stupid dog behind me.
Obviously.
They did bite my tail a little bit, so I had to go and play in the mud for a little bit, so I cover my wound. So the next day, basically today, the burdens didn't even notice anything. They just said something like, "Oh, he's dirty again." But it was obviously me trying to make sure they don't know what I was up to tonight. Or
Very, very, very well done, Merle.
oh yeah, it
Um,
was.
let's see. Carlo and Blacktail. Well, Merle is doing his story. The two of you are positioned in such a way that you notice uh, a few particularly large albino rats. And when I say particularly large, I mean cat-sized large albino rats trying to sneak by.
Okay.
Okay, like how far are they from our position?
Basically, you guys are on a playing field, and they'd be like moving besides the houses, like across the street.
So I noticed that Blacktail does see those rats as well, and the other cats haven't seen them
Yes.
yet.
Yeah, the other
And
cats are basically angled with their backs towards them.
And I asked Blacktail, do you have any idea what these rats are up to? They look kind of strange. I rarely have seen such big rats.
Mm, like I like from my sitting down position, I actually start to stand up and let everybody else say like just barely by like looking into that direction, but just more of staring actually. So people will like people, the other cats, of course, not people, will start to recognize that I'm more focused on staring and not any more directly listening to everybody. So I'm like saying like, and saying like, making everybody silently or subtle aware of that there might be something which we should be prepared for, because they are just a bit too large for the size of being just plainly ignored by us.
I think it's really strange that the rats come over to our meeting point, because it's kind of a dangerous adventure for them, and this is a really suspicious occasion, I think.
Yeah, they actually really try something which shouldn't be in their responsibility, or they're actually trying to bite off more than they can chew.
Yeah, you might be right there. I think I will point it out to Jezebel that there are some rats over there, and those rats are really big, and they seem to be not of the usual kind.
Okay. Jezebella will look at the rats. The rats, in the meantime, are not standing still. They're moving along, and they're branching into side streets. So, like the first thing, Jezebella like she looks at the rats, and then she sees what direction they're going, since they're splitting up, and she says, "Miss Haggerty." And she gets up as quickly as her age allows, and she tells Saber, like, "Well, go do something. You're faster than me." And basically, before she scurries off, she says, "You guys might want to check on your burdens." And then she scurries off to make sure that her burden is not disturbed by any rats.
So I had been just like first stretching and then looking at the rats guilelessly and
Well, I
you
feel
know,
like
with interest
if
but not too much concern. But as soon as she mentions check on your burdens, I go running.
I feel like if Saber, no, was it Saber?
Fable, I think.
Sable. Could you
Sable.
write those down?
Yes.
If he's chasing one of the rats, and the other one might get to one of our burdens, but if we chase it, we'll know exactly where. So I'm just going to chase the other rat.
Okay, so there's
About-
multiple rats.
Yeah,
and they're
about
splitting
how
up.
many rats are there?
I thought there were two. Sorry.
No, there's multiple. There's like 7 or so rats. There's
Oh.
let's say 7 rats.
Is there
Okay.
any way to tell, like, who's leading the rat pack?
Sorry, what did you say?
Is there any way that, for instance, my character could notice who seems to be the leader of the rat pack? Sinatra,
Sure.
right?
You could try to use empathy to figure out more about, who's the leader of the pack and what are they planning and things like that. So that would be via use of the empathy skill.
Yes. Which I only have or investigate.
So you have an average empathy skill. So what you do in Fate is you roll a bit different dice. You type / roll 40F plus 1 in this case.
/F.
So backslash.
Okay. F40.
Slash
No,
slash R.
4DF. Yes.
Slash R space.
So that, but there's a slash in the front.
Yep.
I was trying to do it by using a space instead, but it doesn't work.
What now?
So just like that with the slash and
How many other? Are there any other rats around us?
If you search for them, maybe not in your direct vicinity.
I would like to try and convince.
0.
Okay. You can tell that they're clearly spreading out, probably to find something or get away from something. But you did have a particularly other idea of their motives.
I'll try to look for and ask other cats to chase, or actually any friend I could find to chase the different rats while I'm on the way to my burdens.
I have one question here. Rats usually aren't sapient beings that cannot be talked with, right? Or are they?
No, usually not. So it's kind of surprising that they all seemed to understand that they had to spread out. Because they're not usually sapient, no. So Merle, why don't you give me a territory roll to see if you can find any cats or other creatures?
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
You basically find a lot of different creatures, that you can ask to keep an eye on where the rats are going, and they might even be able to take care of some rats by themselves.
Awesome. I wanted to ask, what's the setting? Is it a mountain village? Is it a
I believe
forest
it's
nearby,
near
or?
the sea. Let me find the map. There was a map somewhere. I'll look it
Oh.
up for you.
Okay. And yeah, I'll start running towards my burdens. Those silly people.
Yeah,
How
so
about the
what
rest?
Blacktail is actually doing, he's like going to try to get on a higher spot so he can like trail the he's trying to trail the the rats, like
Okay.
in which direction they're going, or if he sees like any pattern, and he tries to find out which, like, first if there's any pattern, and if those rats are actually like going into the direction of their burdens, because he's quite tired of fighting all night yesterday again. So he tries to avoid to go for it if they are actually going into the directions of the burden, but see if he can, like, if he even needs to go into their direction, or just like keenly know that uh his burdens are actually safe from this weird behavior of the rats.
Okay. So to me, it sounds like you're basically trying to do things, two things. First, you're
Mhm.
trying to create an advantage for yourself by looking up the high ground.
Yeah.
Um, so, let's say that you're trying to set up an advantage with athletics. And it has a fair opposition. So that's you need to have at least a 2 in your result.
Okay, how do I do this? Or continue.
And the second thing you seem to be doing is to use notice to see what they're doing, basically. So you type /R
Yeah.
and then 4df plus whatever your athletic skill is.
Okay, since I didn't have the athletics, it's on 0,
0.
I guess.
Yeah, so just roll 4df.
Wait, can I use my stunt, which is look before you leap, so I can judge distances and gaps, to which helps me to use notice instead of athletics for jumping?
Yeah, I think so. So then
Yeah.
you would be able to add your notice.
Awesome.
Okay, yeah, you create an advantage for yourself called high ground.
Okay.
That you can then, because you succeeded on doing it, you get 1 free use of that advantage. So it's just an aspect. Like you have aspects, things in your environment have aspects as well.
Hmm.
So right now you have the aspect tied to yourself, high ground, and that's like a situational aspect, and you can use it to get a +2 to something. And you have one free use of it. After that, if you want to use it, you need to spend a fate point. But because you successfully created the advantage, the first use is fate point free.
Okay, awesome.
So go ahead and do your notice with a +2 to whatever you had, so a +5.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. There were 7 rats, and Merle did pretty well. So let's say that 3 of the rats are
Taken care of.
yeah. So let me see. So the rats are going to various homes, but you can see that nobody is going to Merle's home and nobody is going to Carlo's home either. So they are going to Libby's, yours, and what is it? Toth? Thoth?
Papa,
With a what? Sorry, I didn't.
Pop Kitty.
Thoth Kitty. Okay, so they're going to Thoth Kitty's home as well.
That's very good for Carlo because the rats are definitely faster than him because he's so fat he can't even run anymore. He just moves around in a very slow manner.
Okay. So my cat is like making this very grumpy sigh of needing to go there, and he like has to go to the burden's place and goes ahead and tries to defend it, even if it is more of a nuisance for him to do this again.
Do you tell Carlo and Merle that their homes are safe and that they can do something else?
Um,
Or are you just gonna let them run?
Actually, Merle and Carlo are those which like the places are safe, right? So
Yeah.
I'm actually going to yes, I'm actually going to tell Carlo and Merle to say like of I will tell them of my observation and say like, yeah, well, your places are safe based on the pattern of how they are moving, but Debbie, Tooth, and my place are actually getting they're actually
Visitors.
getting targeted. So it would be maybe it is also good if we would spread up in bigger groups, so we will have the advantage versus the rats, which are actually attacking especially our places.
That good would be good, except that I've already raced off.
Carlo is saying, okay, that's pretty good. And I'm asking Merlo if he has a particular home that he wants to help, or if he wants to help anyone at all.
You're muted.
You're muted.
When I saw the rats, I instantly just looked for the cats and just ran towards my place. So I'm probably not in the vicinity of where you guys can tell me. I'll
Okay.
probably just arrive later when I go home and instruct all the animals to just make battle formations and defend, basically.
Okay, so Carlo is asking Blacktail if he wants any help, or do you get along with those rats on your own?
Since we are two.
So the question is Blacktail lazy or is he arrogant?
Yeah, I think rather like I would say like I think the others need more help, and I'm going to do this because I have to do this, and I am I already had this behind me, so I have to do this again. But even if it's I react like slightly annoyed, but not towards Carlo, but towards the situation that he's going to have to defend again after the situation have occurred just yesterday night. But I believe that others need help because I am confident of defending like this one big rat, even if it is going to like that's just what I'm going to say, and then I'm just going to leave and rather offer to Carlo to help Debbie or Tooth Kitty for their help.
Okay. I'm sure you will be fine, Carlos says.
I thank you, and then I go off, and I'm just being scared that this fight might cause again the
You can count on it.
yeah, this is like going to being annoyance again, because then I'm going to fight, and then my furry appearance is going to look bad again, and then my owners are going to have this idea of, is it even worth keeping the cat? And I have to make all this annoyances to appeal again, even if I don't want to, and I just want to be left alone.
So, Carlo and Thuskity, you guys are heading out together?
Okay, I'm going to. Is Sable still around?
Well, he was heading off to Miss Haggerty, since that is also his burden.
I see.
But if you want, you can interrupt him and ask him something.
No, I just want to see who's available to go with me to find out what's going on with my burdens.
Okay. Yeah. No. Basically, he gives you an arrogant look and says, "Well, I have to go to Miss Haggerty, obviously," and basically looks at you like you're stupid.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify, I wasn't asking in character. I just missed what happened with Sable. So
You missed what happened with the
okay,
rat?
No, she missed what happened with the Sable, not with.
Okay.
like when you were
basically-
describing the
Basically, what
scene.
happened is Jezebella told him to run ahead to Miss Haggerty, since it looked like one of the rats was heading that way.
Okay, so he's not
Because,
around.
they have the same burden, and Sable is a lot younger than Jezebella.
Got it. Okay, so he's not around. So who is maybe available?
Well, you could look to see if you have any cats or other sapient animals in your territory that you could ask.
Okay.
So you would make a roll using your territory. So let's see what that is.
I don't have territory and skill.
Okay, so that would be a 0. So you just roll 40F. You
With
do
a
the
slash
/R
R.
at the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. Usually you know a lot of cats, but right now it's kind of abandoned. Maybe because it's early morning where cats, they went to sleep already, most of them, since the work night is over.
He's napping again.
So that would have been a rapport roll?
What did you say?
That would not have been a rapport roll?
I'm sorry, I can't understand it. That would not have been what?
A rapport roll.
Oh no, rapport is when you meet somebody and you're trying to convince them to do something. Territory is to find something. So territory would allow you to find it, and then rapport would allow you to motivate them to search extra hard or to help extra hard.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to head back towards the house to see what's going on with Maureen and James.
Okay, anybody else want to do something before you arrive at your respective houses?
Nope, just heading directly
Okay.
to the
In
cardboard
that
house.
case, When you guys arrive at your houses or alleys, the rats already went inside. They had a bit of a head start, and from the racket you're hearing, they're basically pulling the place apart.
Assholes.
Oh no. Blacktail is just like visualizing what happened the last night and what, like how the place looked, and now he's like just visualizing how it's looking worse this time.
Yeah, because the rats make a lot of a mess, and you know, you can hear the racket, but you're pretty sure the burdens could hear it as well. Dibby, what is the name of your burden?
Anna.
Anna. Anna like just sees this gigantic rat, and she's just standing there with the big eyes, like looking at the thing. I mean, she knows rat. She lives on the street, but this is a big one.
I'm just gonna say to the rat. Hello. I think you're lost. You're in the wrong place.
Okay. As soon as the rat, like previously, when you just arrived, the rat was looking around, like muttering something under its breath. And as soon as you say something, the rat looks at you and just takes off.
Okay.
How are things going with Thoth, Kitty, and Carlo in the meantime?
So because the meeting is falling apart and some cats are running after the rats, and Carlo does see that there's no rat heading towards his own home. He's one of the last cats that are staying in the place, and he's just thinking about why the rats have come to the meeting place and what they might want to do, and he's still looking around and trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, you can try following one of the rats, and try figure out what they're up to using either notice or empathy.
Yeah, so I walk into the direction of the rat that went to Dibby's home, because at that point I think I don't know that the rat was just moving away there, and I try to use my empathy skill to get some information about the plans of the rats.
Okay, so as you move into the direction of Dibby's home, you're not that fast, right? So
yes, I'm not.
I can imagine you being passed.
It takes my time.
Being passed by a rat that's basically running away from the place.
Okay. So
and it's muttering something. So that would be notice, but if you want to understand its like what it seems to be doing in general, then that would be empathy. Like empathy is more its mood.
Skill. I try this one.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh no! What did rolling?
Slash roll
slash R.
or slash R in front.
Okay. Oh, I forgot the +3.
Okay, so let's see, what would you get from the rat? You're pretty sure that right now it's fleeing the scene.
Okay.
And it appears to be heading back to where it originally came from. Like it's heading towards the playground and back beyond in the direction that it originally came from.
Okay, so I think this is something I should tell to the other cats, that the rats are fleeing from something, and we should be careful, because if it's something, it doesn't necessarily have to be this way, but if the rats do flee from it, it might be harmful to us cats as well. And so I'm trying to find some of the other cats to share this kind of information with them.
Well, you're close to Dibby's place, right? Because that's where the rat came from. So
Yeah.
you might as well go to her and tell her
Yeah,
that she's
okay.
very scary.
Then I go to Dibby's home, and yeah, am I able to get inside the home, or do I have
Well, it's an alley, so yeah.
some noises so
Di-
that
Di-
she knows
Dibby
I'm there?
lives on the streets, so
Oh,
you're
Dibby
totally
lives
able
on
to
the
go
street.
into the alley.
Okay, so then
And but
So-
before we continue, let's head over to Blacktail.
Yeah. So I hear that this rat is causing ruckus
Yes, basically.
in my place, right? So I have to get in there and make more ruckus. Like I think that at this time that my couple, at least one of them, is at the home,
Okay.
and they notice it too. But since right, to first make them believe, or to make them understand and show that it is not me who's just doing that, I am trying to give them the idea of, hey, this is not me, and here I am going to protect you, being useful, so don't throw me away. Even because I actually love the wet food here, so I'm like going towards, or like I'm first trying to get in sneakily to see if
Okay.
what this rat is doing and where it is, and when it is there, then I'm trying to like um meow at it as like super loud, and like be like acting like furious, trying to chase it away so everybody will see it and make like a big show out of it, so that my couple, or like the person who's there, my burden, will see that I'm actually being useful and trying to defend my own.
Okay. So you to sneak in, you need to make a stealth roll that beats the notice of this particular rat, and basically you need to beat a -5. So it's not going to be very hard, but just roll just to make sure.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, you're totally safe. The rat is oblivious to your presence. And you can see it like tearing apart the carpet and going behind cupboards and pushing stuff over,
Yeah,
and then muttering to itself.
Can I hear what it says? Do I understand it?
That would be a notice.
Trolls. Okay.
You hear it muttering about the shinies. Something about the shinies.
Okay. So it doesn't sound like it's trying.
It seems to pause a little longer whenever it sees something that's shiny, and then it shakes its red head and moves on to the next shiny thing.
Okay, so it doesn't sound like it's magic for me, right? It's not creating magic or anything.
No, it's just
trying to steal stuff.
yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, then I'm just going to cause like a big ruckus, so my couple will see that I'm fighting like a big rat and trying to chase it away and being useful. Because
Okay.
I'm not really
As soon
trying.
as you start making noise, the rat looks at you with big eyes and like takes off.
Yeah. Okay.
as you hiss, "Stay away."
Get off
Um,
space.
How about you? Actually, no. Dimi had a question first. Go ahead.
Since I'm a warden and everything, can we assume that I already put this word around my own house
Sure.
that I live in? So
Sure.
then on the way back, I would just remember that, oh, wait, I would know if something went in, so
Yeah.
I might as well go and help. So I'll just run not towards my own house, but to the nearest, I guess, of the for others.
Let's say it's the house of Thoth Kitty, then, and you guys meet up each other while you're going there. So go ahead, Thoth Kitty. What are you doing?
Okay, so have I gotten to my house yet?
I'm sorry, I can't hear that at all.
Have I gotten to my house yet?
Sure. You also hear a lot of ruckus, and you see like silverwares being pushed over.
I can make us invisible.
Do I see the rats?
You see a rat like in the windowsills pushing over the silverwares that are shown there, and you see Merle coming up from a side street, and you know that you'd probably know that Merle has the ability to make you invisible.
Sneak up
Okay.
and get the rat.
Okay, so I guess we go in the house, but what I'm thinking is that I want to use my rapport, if I can use that in this situation, to tell the rats they don't want to be here.
Okay. So when you get inside, you hear a rat muttering, and what do you say to it?
I plant my feet firmly. I look at them straight in their little beady rat eyes, and I say, you don't want to be here.
Okay. Give me a report roll. Actually, let's see how the rat takes this.
That's 4DF plus 3.
If that is your report skill, yeah.
Yes.
And let's see, what is the rat's?
What are you doing?
Okay.
Oh, Brad was doing something on the keyboard. So it's /R 4DF plus 3.
/R and then 40F plus plus your report.
What's going on here? That looks like I got a 4.
Yeah, so the rat defended with a 2. So the rat mutters something in itself. Like at first the rat jumps at seeing you and is ready to run away, but then your calming voice relaxes it a little, and it mutters something to itself along the lines of "go away," and then it goes away.
Can
after
I take
taking a last longing look at the house.
Can I take another action?
Sure.
Do I notice anything?
Do you notice anything?
Do I notice anything aside from the fact that there's a rat going through
Okay.
stuff? Do I notice anything special or outstanding?
Okay, so roll a notice to see if you notice anything specific about this rat. No,
Nope.
it just looks like a dirty rat. It doesn't look too bright either. I mean, maybe for a rat, but you know, compared to your cat intelligence, it's very stupid. So yeah, all of you have successfully. Actually, hold on. Before I do that, do you want to do something, Merle? While the rat is leaving.
I want to try and turn invisible and follow it.
Okay.
Um,
So how does your turning invisible work?
Basically, it depends what the environment is. It's a passive position between 1 and 5, depending on the difference between me and the environment. So
Okay.
basically, I'm a almost entirely white cat with some, with kind of not gray but brown on my tail and some dirt all over my body.
Okay. So the dirt would help, since it is early morning, so it's still a bit dark. So being white is not that big of an advantage. Let's say it's a 3. You need to have a good result, or better.
Okay.
By the way, if I talk about like a good or a fair or an average, that's the way skills are described. You have a ladder of numbers from -2, I think, up to a 7. From dreadful, poor, mediocre, average, fair, good, great, epic,
Legendary?
and legendary.
Not
I'm
sure.
not sure. I'm missing one there in between. But
Superb,
so if I'm
very-
referencing these words, they always have a number tied to them.
I got a 5.
A 5. Why
Yep.
do I not see that? Hold on. Let me write a letter. And it usually shows up.
Usually a whisper helps. Or should I just refresh?
No, I didn't think so.
I see it.
Oh, I see it. That's my problem. It says now my connection has been interrupted. I'll
Oh.
refresh it. So yeah, you turn practically invisible.
Cool. And now just follow it at a distance where I can still sense its smell. I'm going to chase it.
Okay. You follow the rats until the Longman's Covered Bridge. And there, surprisingly enough, the Longman's Covered Bridge is an old bridge that's almost falling apart, and it's guarded by a bat with his bat underlings. Fascus, who's a wise guardian, and surprisingly enough, like the rats have gathered by then, and surprisingly enough, Fascus actually lets them pass. But he very kindly tells you to stay where you are, basically.
What is the bat doing in the daylight there?
It's a covered bridge.
Oh.
So it's not daylight inside.
Well,
And this is, by the way, very out of character for the for
bat.
Fascus. Yeah.
I'm not sure I would know since I'm young and stupid, basically. But
I suggest that you get the rest of the group first so that it can participate in the fun.
Fair enough.
He's not planning on letting you through now anyway, so you might as well.
I was going to
them.
climb something and try to jump on him.
He does have a lot of bats. I'm not sure if that would be a wise choice when you're by yourself.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'll just go back and let the rest of the party know what happened.
Okay.
If we have gathered already, I mean.
This seems like a good time to take another 5-minute break, maybe.
Okay.
How are you guys enjoying the adventure so far?
A lot. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's actually very interesting because
Yeah.
it has like this complete different perspective of what you have to do and what you have to take care of and care about.
Oh, I know. On the way back, I want to do a. I also wanted to ask that. How do we hunt for an whatever for a thing for our spells or
sacrifice?
whatever? Yeah, sacrifice. Exactly.
I think you use territory just.
Okay.
Oh no!
Or ask somebody else to do it for you.
Which basically would also be territory since that's the contacts.
No, I mean ask somebody
Lessa,
else.
what you doing, baby girl?
Going on the way back, I'm just going to throw my row now to see if I get something. But yeah, we can do the break now.
I think I'm hearing German television.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I should make it a bit more quiet.
I don't see your roll again.
It's a 1.
Okay, probably not. Maybe you find a cockroach.
Not really. Well,
Oh,
I'm
there
going
we
to
go.
chase
It
the
shows up.
cockroach and jump on it and stuff, but maybe try to eat it.
I'm sure it will be very tasty. I'm gonna get myself something more to drink.
Yep.
Okay.
Me too.
3.
For future reference, I think
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Shiny? Not for long.
Oh, what a great picture of Elijah. Right downstairs. I need to figure out a way to do this where my computer isn't sitting on my lap. It's starting to get uncomfortable on my legs.
I see T-shirt.
I'm back.
Back.
Welcome.
In about 14 minutes, I'll be AFK for like 1 minute.
Okay. So I'm guessing everybody is here since Miko is probably still wearing his headset.
I am.
So do you guys would you prefer to end it rather a bit earlier or rather a bit late? Like,
I vote late.
Okay, then I vote
Um,
late. Well,
We have other commitments today.
How much later were you thinking?
and it's more like the timing thing, you know, where do you end it? You know, you want to end the thing at a suitable or particularly interesting point, you know, one of those. So, you know, that there's you're not gonna start a big fight and then halfway end the session, right? So it's more kind of like that thing. It all depends on you guys. Like, I can go on for another hour after the session ends. That's my maximum. But I was more thinking in the amount of like 15 minutes or half an hour if we're going to make it late, or maybe even 5 minutes if we find a good point or whatever.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like for me, it's just all about like either like having like a very, very good cliffhanger or something.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
15 or so would be certainly fine.
Okay.
15 is what?
Would be fine.
Okay. Then we'll go up to 15 minutes later. Shall we go again, or does anybody have anything to do still?
I'm good.
I think like the only thing is like I might arrive a bit late because I have to take care of my fur again, and all the running made it happen, so I'm there. But I will exaggerate what happened. Like I had to fight
course.
this and everything.
Of course, of course.
We all know cats.
Yes.
So, yeah, what do you guys do? Do you decide to go to the Hangman Bridge, or do you meet somewhere else?
Well, I will go first to the meeting place again after
Okay.
the defense, and then see if everybody else is gathered up there. And when we receive the information, I would suggest we will go and investigate.
Okay, so
So-
let's say all of you guys are at the meeting place. Merle gathered you there, or you went there on your own accord.
So I'm probably a little bit late because since there was another cat in the vicinity, I had to make sure that I rubbed the scent glands in my cheeks up against Anna to mark her as my mommy, nobody else's.
Yeah.
And to get praise for saving her and all of that.
Yeah. She was very, very grateful for you getting that big ass rat away from her.
Did you by chance get any reward, like something valuable, like a dead mouse, or a small rabbit, or a newborn chicken?
No, just love.
Okay, weirdo.
That's all that a cat needs.
Well,
So what do you tell them, Merle?
well, you see, we saved Dot Kitty's burden from the huge rat, and I managed to follow it, and obviously I wasn't seen. It was a stupid rat, but it went to the Longman's bridge, and funnily enough, Vasquez just let the rat in and told me to get the hell out of there. That's so not like him. I wanted to repay him in kind, of course, but the rest of those flying mice were just looking at me a bit unpleasantly, so I decided to let you guys also enjoy the fun, and it wasn't because I was scared or anything, of course.
Of course.
I'm just graciously inviting you to come with me and figure out what's happening. And we should probably check on Jezebel and Sable.
So that old Vasquez was letting a rat run through
Yeah,
to the other
can you
side
imagine?
of the bridge? Sounds very strange. Usually they don't have anything to do with the rat. Did you
Nothing
ask
what
him?
to do with the rat.
Did you ask him why this strange kind of behavior, this maneuver was done from them?
No, I was just going to explain to him how how he should tell everything to me, because I'm a cat and I should know and I want to know. But he was just being rude and reasonable. That's so.
I think
Well,
that we need
still
to
have
find
to
out
get
what's
from
going
that.
on.
What?
Yeah, and like
And
the rat, what's like the rat which I furiously fought. She was like continuously trying to look for something shiny. We actually need to go there. I need to find out if it actually stole something from the place of the place where I live.
Well, the
To be
thing that I noticed is that the rat that I saw, I noticed that it was running away from something. It seemed kind of scared, and I don't know. There could be something that the rats that is forcing the rats to flee.
I'm sure if
it's
we
a
talk
rat.
to the
Everything is
flitter mice nicely, we can at least get by, if not find out what's going on.
By nicely you mean eat it straight away without playing with it, or what?
Well, no, but we'll see. but I think that maybe we can all just get along.
So you were suggesting to eat fuscus, right?
Oh, wait.
Or not?
I thought we were talking about the rat. Sorry.
No.
Oh, okay.
The dead
So
rat
you were
seem
talking
back.
about fuscus, then that would be a serious breach of the
Oh.
code, because
Okay.
fuscus is sapient. The rats, maybe somewhat. You weren't sure.
The dead
They-
rats don't have answers.
They seemed pretty stupid, so probably not.
Yeah, actually, I'm for it because maybe we don't need to straight up eat it, but it would be interesting to have it like as a sacrifice if we need to have them as a spare.
Definitely. A sacrifice is always useful.
That is true. Let's go and check out Fascus for what he's going to do there and why didn't he let you even pass through?
I think it would be better to check the council first.
So you guys are basically the council. There's just
Okay.
Jezabella and Sable. You are the other council members.
Then I think we should tell Jezabella what we found out to get her opinion on the matter as well.
I'm fine with Jezabella, I just don't like Saber. He tries to outshine me.
Well, yeah, he sometimes acts kind of strange, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's not likable or something.
Yeah. Unlikable or something is definitely true.
Well, should we go and ask them what they think about it, since they are higher in the hierarchy? They should probably be consulted.
We could
about
ask them for the
what we should do.
opinion.
And they might have trouble with their rats.
Yeah. My suggestion would be to go to Miss Haggerty to find Jezabella and Sable. And yeah, I don't know. What does the rest of the group want to do here?
Yeah, fine with
I'd be fine with going there first.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
let's head over
I
to
think-
Miss Haggerty.
I think that we should try to get more information about what's going on. I think Jezabella would appreciate it, and I personally would like to know. Because this is a threat not just to us, but to our burdens as well.
You guys could go now, or you could wait as customary until it's evening, and in the evening the meeting space is free again, so you guys could meet at the meeting space. That's up to you guys, obviously, or you could never go.
So,
Can we just wait till we are starved to death or something?
is Jezabella like she didn't come back, right? Or did Jezabella come back to the meeting place after everything?
Let's see. She didn't come back yet, but she might arrive.
I think if she doesn't, we should make sure they're alright, since she's the leader and stuff. We should.
Below 40, 40 or lower, she did arrive. No, she's not there.
Okay. Well, I would suggest. Is there a normal meeting time, like when we always meet up
Yeah.
as the council?
You during the day, this is the playground for the kids of Silverford. So you usually meet at night. So like you could go there in the evening after the kids went to bed, for instance.
Mhm. Yeah. Then I would suggest to wait till the evening because at the day we cannot meet them, and I think that the burdens and of Jezebel and Saber would just like be really wondering why there's like the cat meeting in front of her place.
Well, we
If
can
she doesn't-
hide.
Yes, of course. Isn't your burden as well scared of seeing like so many different cats at the same time?
Well, there are 4 of us right there, so
5 plus the 2
Yeah.
cats that live there.
no. I mean, yeah. Usually there are like 4 cats there, so
Oh,
they're used to
okay.
cats.
With
But
your
you know, we
burden.
can hide somewhere. But imagine if Jezebel right now is in trouble. That's why I think we should go and check out. Not just to tell her what happened, but to make sure she's alright.
You really think she could be in trouble from a rat?
Well, it's
Oh,
it's
come on.
obvious something weird is happening.
Yeah,
Hmm?
it's strange that she didn't show up yet, but I
Yeah.
can't imagine her being not fine. I mean, what should have happened?
Yeah.
Well,
I
if
do
there's a
believe
lot of
Jezebel
them,
was-
it could be a problem. Maybe
I
all the ones
do
that,
believe in.
or
Huh?
you know, some of the ones that ran off from other places congregated there.
So basically it's a tie then. So Thoth Kitty could maybe be the tiebreaker.
Well, what Thoth Kitty wants to do is go back to where the bat hole is under the bridge and keep an eye out and see what the rats do. See if they come out, see if Morcom kind of act as a spy or a lookout to see what's going on there, and can theoretically come and report back once night falls and the group gathers again.
That's
Okay.
also a good plan.
So I guess most votes are for looking first and talking to Jezebella later.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. So we will do it right now over the daytime.
Well, somebody could go and check on Jezebella, and like I said, I volunteer to go and just kind of keep an eye on what's going on at the bridge. Not necessarily take any action, but certainly get an idea of what's going on, see if I can find some answers.
I'd suggest you guys go somewhere together. As a game master, I'm not very fond of splitting up parties. Obviously, you know, if you can and if it makes a lot more sense, you should do so. But my suggestion would be to go somewhere together.
I'm back. Sorry. So, are we headed somewhere?
No, we are not having. We haven't headed somewhere yet, and I'm not too fond of the idea to act so rushed and go to the bridge without talking to Jezebella. So if some of you want to go to Fascus right now, you can go, but I will just stay here and wait till Jezebella comes back to the meeting place.
In that case, you guys might as well go find her, since you know, sitting around doing nothing is not gonna be the most interesting story to tell.
Well,
And
we can
she
say
could be in
someone
trouble.
goes and we can go and we can say that someone goes and stalks the bridge. You know, just waits there in the shadows. Some of us go and
That's
let
what I was going to
Jezebel
do.
what's up, and
Okay. So
and I want to find myself a sacrifice.
Thoth Kitty is going to the bridge. Is anybody accompanying him or her? Is Thoth Kitty she or he?
Thoth is a male cat.
Okay. So is anybody accompanying Thoth Kitty?
I'll join and make sure I prepare my defenses if something happens there, which involves a sacrifice as well.
And the rest of you are going to go to Jezebella, or is...
Yeah.
Yes. I go to Mrs. Haggerty's house then.
Yeah, I will join Thoth Kitty and
Okay.
Merlio for just like hanging out because we just sit there to observe, right? And like waiting and watching, like doing nothing over the daytime is like actually quite appealing for me.
And we get away from the kids.
Right.
But it's
Okay,
not doing
so-
nothing, it's observing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's observing, of course, while taking a
One
nap.
has
So,
to be
Debbie and Carlo,
One
you
word.
guys head over to Miss Haggerty's house. And as you get there, you see Jezebella sitting on the spindly old chair on the front porch. And she frowns at you. What are you guys doing here? It's day.
We were just making sure you're okay. You're okay.
Thank you. That is so kind. Yeah, of course. I had Sable with me, so we were fine. I already sent him out to scout. He's following one of the rats.
Oh, okay.
We discovered some interesting things ourselves that we would like to share with you. That is why we came to your house in the daytime. The whole red occasion, something unusual, so I hope you're fine with this unusual visit from us.
I guess. Don't make it too long, though. I don't want Miss Haggerty to get suspicious.
Yeah, okay. We uh, we try to present the information to you as short as it could get. The thing that I found out is that the rats did flee from something, and the rat that I met seemed to be pretty scared, and yeah, there is something strange is out there. I have no clue what it could be, but we should be careful, I think. And Merle did chase one rat to the old bridge and found out that Vasquez was protecting the bridge, and he gave pass to the rat, but he didn't allow Merle to go to the other side of the bridge. So that is another strange thing that happened.
Oh, yeah,
Besides what
that
do you
too.
think about this?
So out of character, Flo. The thing that like the rat didn't appear to be running from something like big and
Okay.
scary. The thing that it was running from that you might have put together yourself was Dibby, since she previously showed up in the alleyway and chased it away.
Okay.
So it wasn't running away panicked or anything. It was just leaving where it came from and heading back home, or wherever it came from.
Then let's just say I misinterpreted this behavior
That's
from the
totally
rat.
fine. That's totally fine. So she nods and says, "Interesting. Well, go see then what is going on with Fuscus. If you can't convince him to let you through, your only other option to find out where those rats came from would be Hieronymus, and we all know how he is.
Oh
So,
yeah, Hieronymus. Who doesn't know him?
So Hieronymus, and he has also a last name. As soon as I can find that, I will write that down.
Bosh.
Screech. Hieronymus Screech. is a owl. He lives in the Blue Moon Woods, to the north of the village, I believe. And he's a very wise owl, and he seems to know a lot of things he's shouldn't be able to know. And he's very wise, but information from him always has a price. And usually the price is you doing something for him that is strange, unnecessarily dangerous, and doesn't really make sense. So that is what she was referencing to.
Ah, okay, so he's one of those wise weirdos, yeah?
Basically.
You have to do strange stuff for him to get the information, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, 3 of us already have gone to Vasquez, and I think this is the route we will take as well then. What do you think, Divi? You think it's a good idea to follow up to the rest of the group to see what's going on at the bridge?
Yeah, let's do that first. And then if, Fuscus decides to be difficult, then we'll do something adventurous for Herodotus, and it'll be good.
Okay, so
Jezabella says, report back at the meeting place at nightfall.
yeah, we'll do so, and let you know what we found out. And I hope we didn't do too much inconvenience to you with our visit.
It's all right.
Okay. So we head off and follow the rest of the group to the bridge.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm going to ask Blacktail and Thoth. Sorry if I'm butchering the way that's supposed to be pronounced. If you guys know what we should be on the lookout for around here, so I know what kind of a ward to set up.
I would say more rats or more vermin of other kinds descending on the bridge in a way that seems unnatural.
Don't you want them to come out? If I put out a word, they will have hard time passing through it, I guess.
I want to see what they do.
Yeah, exactly. We want them to not have trouble doing whatever they want to do.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I set up a word, they might have a difficult time passing through it, so they might just run away from us.
I believe Merle is suggesting making a defensive campment while you wait.
Yeah. But if I protect us from rats, they might know we were here. So I'm asking if we should be aware of something else, like I don't know, maybe stray dogs or
Bats.
birds that hunt, or I'm basically suggesting you lore check or something to give us an advantage and see if we can.
Well, stray dogs are always annoying to deal with when we're already dealing with rats, so I would say stray dogs are already a very wise choice.
Well, is there a limited range kind of ward that you could do that would protect us but not enclose the bridge area? I mean, where are we observing from?
I
So
guess.
the bridge is crosses a river, which is down in a chasm. So I imagine there'd be some trees up on the hillside where there'd be a good hiding spot, basically.
Right, that's what I was thinking because
Okay, yeah.
I have a high stealth, and Merle has a high stealth. I don't know about Blacktail, but I figure we could be hidden in a tree, which would
Yep,
at
you're right.
least protect us from dogs, if not from hunting birds.
So I can do something like an area up to like 2 rooms, kind of an area, and I can protect against maybe 2 types of things for almost sure result with my sacrifice. I caught a sparrow.
Okay.
So let's say rats and stray dogs.
Um,
And for
if
that,
you want, you can make up something that terrorizes the area.
Ooh.
Poltergeister.
There have been stories about the what was that guy called? Let me look up what guy was called. The Shriveled One.
What's that?
The Shriveled One is a natural creature who hasn't been seen for years, but used to appear as a walking corpse with a noose around its neck.
Ooh. I'm totally protecting us against that.
It knows what causes it to appear and torment its victims, driving many of them mad. But its murderous hatred of cats is common knowledge.
Dude, that guy. The shriveled one, was it?
Yeah, the Shriveled One.
Okay, so we're definitely have to be protected against that thing, since
Yes.
you know it's terrifying. So
And
yeah, I'm going
shriveled.
to
Yes.
and shriveled, yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been seen in years, but it's bound to show up now.
So I'm going to use my
Hey,
The-
now that he's protecting for it, I'm going to roll a dice, and there's going to be a chance this thing is going to show up.
I'm going to protect an area that's the size of a house, I guess, which and against 2 things. So I
Okay.
would need a 4 to be successful.
Go ahead.
Oh shit.
Are you invoking
Oh,
any?
shit.
Oh, well. I guess not. But...
So yeah.
Actually, I can. Since I'm a master warden. Yeah, warden. I'm going to use a fate point to reroll that.
You should.
I guess not.
Oh dear. Nope.
And then I'm going to eat my sparrow.
I am sure it's very tasty. And you will leave a lot of feathers and blood all around the place. And probably all over yourself as well.
Probably, yeah.
That's probably the reason why your warden didn't work, because you decided to eat it.
Yeah, I secretly just wanted to eat it, and I didn't want to succeed too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then,
You were just like constantly while you were doing the magic, you kept thinking, well, if it fails, I can eat it.
Yeah, that's true.
and before it even like almost worked, you decided I will just eat it instead.
Yeah, screw that. I'm hungry.
Okay. So you guys are in a clump of trees. Are you guys trying to be particularly stealthy?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I will roll for, whatever is out there trying to see you.
Yeah, actually, I am going to be stealthy because of the shriveled one.
Well, what would it take for me to be invisible here? Since I don't see I don't see a reason for me not to try to be invisible and just stealthing.
You can totally try to be invisible.
But I'm asking what the difficulty would be, since we're in another area right now.
Okay, so you're white. That's a bit of a disadvantage. Although you're red and sparrow colored and dirty. But I imagine there to be high grass and bushes. So let's say it's going to be a bit easier. It's a 2.
Actually, I'm going to be annoyed because you like splashed a little bit of blood on my fur, and like, why are you messing my stuff up? Is this really
I'm
necessary?
invisible. You don't know who you're talking to.
And when you were casting and deciding to eat the thing,
Mhm.
and then like some of the blood when you were eating like splashed on my fur. I'm like, oh, why?
Are we
Why
rolling
is
for
this
stealth?
But I'm
Um,
not particularly trying to make a big fuss, like make a small fuss about it, but not a big one.
Plus, you know you're black.
Are we rolling for
You can't see that, and you can just lick it
And
away.
now.
It's easy.
Well,
And
other
it's,
people
it's
start
roll
like
it.
thinking
my
about
tail is black. Like
Oh.
the rest of my fur is like plain white, but the tail
Oh.
is black, and I have like white ears with very small black tips as well. But yeah, it landed on my tail, so.
So
like,
you're just saying
"Yeah."
that to be fancy and stuff.
Yeah.
and you are trying to hide his wolf.
Yes,
I cannot hear that.
Pretty well.
but I presume-
yes.
Okay. So, two of you hide pretty well, and then there's just this big white furball.
Which is annoyed with trying to lick the like instead of because I'm so annoyed, I'm trying to lick my tail
Actually,
off the
hold
blood.
on. The white part is hidden very well, but then you see this tail moving, being licked and everything, like just above the grass. So yeah, Dibby and Carlo, you guys don't have any trouble finding them because of the, pretty tail.
Okay. Well, Carlo can't hide. He can't go in stealth, so he's just moving towards the group, and he's asking, "Oh, what are you up doing there? Why are you hiding? Is there anything we should be scared about?"
And I'll prance up and say, "Hi, we're here."
I just give you guys like an annoyed look and continue licking my tail.
So now that you guys are all arrived, I'll do a bit of a description of the Longman's covered bridge. So it's a very old covered bridge. You guys have been here before. I mean, Fuscus is a nice guy, and he usually very guards the bridge against evil creatures very well. The Longman's covered bridge is over a chasm, as I mentioned before, and the timber is like really badly warped, and it tilts to one side. It holds cats and bats pretty well, but humans not so much. The ones that have been here would know that the air on the inside smells strongly of dry mold and bat droppings, and if you look down, you can see that the sprung floorboards reveal a long drop to the rocks below. And inside lives Fuscus with his non-sapient bat colony. Who's a particularly large brown bat with silky fur. And he always, for some reason, looks like he's wrinkling his nose at something.
Go figure.
He's usually very, very polite bat.
So as we approach, I'll just call out, "Fuscus, are you there? We need to talk to you."
From the shadow above, a bat swoops down, and he smiles at you. I mean, the nose kind of ruins it, but he tries to smile. And he says, "Well, hello. How are you?"
Pretty good. Although we were kind of beset by some rats that were kind of out of place, and they went this way, uh, and we were just here to find out what was going on.
Oh, that is horrible. Are you sure they went this way? I didn't see anybody pass.
Well, I didn't see them go this way, but I have it uh, on pretty good authority, and I'm sure Merle wouldn't lie. I mean, he's a fellow cat.
I guess you must have seen some leaves moving in the wind then, Merle. I'm convinced you're a great cat. But you know, mistakes can happen.
I'm supposed to be invisible. Wait, but he's a bat. He probably knows where I am. I'm like on the wall with my claws in the wall, just looking around and just being scared since this is a new place I couldn't ward and I'm a bit scared. And I'm like, yeah, I saw them right there. They went in and you told me to basically get lost. You hid them.
I remember asking you not to pass, yeah, but I didn't remember any rats.
Well, then you're
Okay,
stupid.
so can I do something like youth rapport and say, oh, come on, Fuscus, you've known us for years. You can tell us what's going on.
Sure. Make a
Sense motive?
report roll.
Oh, right.
And I'll help. I'll add again. Yeah, we're just here to help.
How do I do that in terms of
I'll try to
dice
pick
roll?
up the rat smell. What would that be?
Notice.
Just like having.
I would like to make an empathy roll on Vasquez.
It says 3 successes.
Yeah. I think it's
You
because
rolled
you had a
DF4.
space. Oh,
You rolled
DF4.
DF4,
It
not
should
FD,
4DF.
not 4DF.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go. That wouldn't be enough to pick up a scent of a little while. Like it's already a while ago. So.
You did the same.
No.
I did the same thing. Sorry. I haven't eaten. I'm getting done. So
Happens
it's
to all of us.
FD4.
4DF.
Okay.
It's basically 4 dice of the type fudge, which is these weird dice that go from plus to minus.
Okay.
So if you
hopefully
would
this
want
is
to
it.
roll a 6-sided dice, you would roll a 1d6,
0.
for instance.
You can try
Okay.
and reroll that if you have the aspect for it.
So you're trying to report, right? Let's see what your
Yeah.
aspects are. You're a peaceful seeker, right?
Yes.
That's your high concept, and I think if you're peaceful, you'd be good at like finding a peaceful solution to a problem. So if you want, you could use that to.
Okay. I also have we're a lot alike, which is investigate versus will, and with success you gain an aspect of the other until the end of scene. Would that help?
Let's see. Let me find that.
Because I'm trying to do like a diplomacy thing here.
Okay, so yeah, you could use the we're a lot alike. You could use that as a separate thing to give yourself some kind of an advantage on your report. and I think if you wanted to reroll this this result, you could use your aspect, your peaceful seeker aspect.
Okay, how do I do that?
You just roll it again, but I'll warn you, you need 7 to succeed, so you'd basically have to roll perfect.
Oh,
So the question is it really worth
Wow.
it to spend a fate point?
no. Not if I
Well,
have to roll
should get it
perfect.
back next session, so why not?
Yeah, it is the end of session, so you could just spend a fate point and see if you're lucky. Since the beginning of next session, you'll just gain your fate points back anyway.
Okay, why not?
You want to do the exact
I
same
got
roll
a
with
5.
guys?
A 5, okay. You see a little bit of doubt in Fescus's eyes, but then he says, almost apologetic, like, sorry, no, I really can't let you pass.
Why not?
He
I mean, we used to go
straightens-
by all the time,
straightens
right?
his- He straightens his back and says, it's for the best.
We won't cause any trouble.
You know us. We're super sweet.
I'm sure. Actually, yeah, you were helping her, right? Or you were
Yes.
helping him.
Yep.
What did you roll?
I haven't yet.
Then you should.
Okay.
It might make the difference. Let's see. What will you need? You're just helping, so you don't need to beat the whole result. But let's say you still need to be pretty convincing, so it's because it's a tough feat. So a good would be good enough.
Okay. And it's rapport also, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, that would bring you guys up to a 7. So that would be enough. Let's see. So you guys start talking in on Fascus, and he shakes his head and he seems really conflicted. He doesn't say yes, but he moves aside a little and turns his back to you guys, so that you could pass behind him sort of unnoticed. And you were doing empathy, right, Carlo? So did you roll that already?
No, I didn't roll it.
Then go ahead and roll that.
Yes,
That would be a great
okay.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So as he moves aside, you can see that he's really conflicted. He's not telling you to go through, but he kind of gives you the opportunity to pass behind him without him seeing, and you can clearly see that he's fighting himself over something. It's almost as if he's told by somebody else to guard this bridge and wants like some kind of like deniability or something along those lines. So he wants to let you sneak through, but then again he also wants you to not go through at the same time. He seems to be fighting himself.
Well, I'm just saying that I like the moment I see this, and I'm like, yeah, well, I'm the council, I'm a cat, I have the right. If this is like given, then I just like go behind him and like past him, like as if nothing happened, and like give him a compliment on his slick fur, and just like continue.
I'll be just super slow, clinging to the wall and just moving slowly. And loudly, probably.
And I'll give him a big obvious wink and be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we were never here. We're just, we're sneaky cats. We must
You
have gotten
can't
by
just,
somehow."
like cover his ears with his wings, like he doesn't want to hear it. I think that is a great point to end the session.
I can
As
agree.
you guys are
Okay.
sneaking past.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave this file here and go get some coffee.
Okay.
Like from every cop show ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, what did you guys think of it?
Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
It's a
Wondering
very
what's going
interesting
on.
setup.
Yeah, like I think the awesomeness when I read the adventure, the goal of the adventure is very different in a certain way than D&D goals, where the goal is not to beat something, but the goal is kind of to find out the story, and I really like that.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, it's very
Oh.
explorative.
Sorry, phone.
Okay.
But thank you for a great game. We'll see you next
Yeah.
week.
Yep.
Yeah.
See ya.
Okay. See you next week.
All right.
Do you guys have any advice for me? Things I could have done better?
Well, for example, I like that there are some mechanics that are for me that were unseen in the other Fate game we were playing or any other game. Which right now I can think of the territory thing.
Mhm.
I'm
And
not sure.
the magic skills.
Yeah, but I tried to use those, and I mean the territory thing I didn't. I mean the territory fights.
Oh yeah, that
in particular. And I'm not sure if there are any other mechanics like that that are unique and different, but
Hi, I
I
just missed a
probably would
call from
like to
this number. You
see
can give me
some
a
more of
call
them,
back.
since that's
And we'll
that's
figure out
a
what's
special
going
thing in
on. Thanks
this
so much. Bye.
campaign, and
Okay.
I think it would be awesome.
The adventure doesn't really bring it forward,
Mhm.
but like I think the adventure will take 2 to 3 sessions.
Okay.
Like including this one.
Mhm.
You guys kind of made it
Hello.
almost halfway, and that was including character creation, but it might be that the second half takes a little longer. So it's like I
Hello?
kind of want to know if you guys want to do more
Hello?
in this world after that. Then we could bring forwards the territory thing a little more, or if you guys want to either quit the game in case of if you were just for the adventure, or move on to the next adventure.
I think being a cat is awesome.
Yeah, I think I'd like to explore this world
Yep.
more.
I think so as well.
Okay, I'll come up with another adventure myself then for after this one.
I hope we still get the possibility to meet Hieronymus, even though we made it past the bridge.
Of course, you can. If not in this adventure, then I'm sure in the next.
Okay.
He's basically the guy you go to when you don't know what to do, and then you pay like a ridiculous price, and you get what you
Yeah,
want.
that's really good. That's awesome. I like that stuff.
I like him as well.
I'm very curious to find out why Vasquez is acted so strange.
I'm telling you, it's a namer.
I don't know.
Nemers are good. They wouldn't do bad things. Yeah, but it's actually pretty fun, especially because it's like seemingly like full of exploration, and just I really like the perspective of there are like there are other things being a higher priority just because you're a cat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like finding out what a cat would be finding interesting is far different than what a human would do, because
Yeah.
cats are not interested in having gold or getting big swords and fighting big evil things. They are more interested in sleeping and
And making sure that the homes of their owners don't get trashed and then they get
Yeah.
blamed for it.
right, exactly.
I'm not sure if a Neymar could control Vasquez. I doubt that this is the true reason.
A Namer can control other sapient beings if they're really good at it.
Yeah, but I guess it's not a very easy task.
No, it's not.
It's Merle after all. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's still young.
Oh dear.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I like this crew of cats, like running along doing cat things and being cat-like.
Exactly.
And I think I enjoy running a pre-generated adventure. It's you need to kind of get out of the mindset of running it like a railroad, I guess, because when you read the stuff, like you guys were supposed to meet with Jezebella this evening, but you went to her like straight away, which was fine because basically what it said in the thing is, hey, if you guys didn't find out where the rats came from by then in the evening, she would suggest Hieronymus. So now she suggested it, at you guys before you even tried to go there, so you know that he exists and is an option later on, which changes the whole story, obviously. So I think that's nice. I think it's also a fun adventure.
No plan survives contact with the players.
If things go wrong, just ask Hieronymus. He knows what to do.
Hoo. Okay.
Oh wow. Yeah, if that was that, then I think if you didn't close the stream yet, Brad, you can do that and we'll say our goodbyes.
Okay. I did want to mention that I did want to thank chat for watching, and please, if you enjoyed it, please do subscribe. And I wanted to mention there's also another game that I'm running on Saturday nights at 10:30 Pacific. So if you get a chance, please check that out. And then this coming Sunday at about 6, I'll be running. Actually, not running. I'll be doing a stream with some developers, and then of the Dark Revelations role playing game, which is sort of a D20 D20 system, but set in the modern age, but still using like elves and dwarves and stuff like that, and it should be very interesting. I'm looking forward to exploring the new system, especially since it's with the people who created it. And I think that's all the plugs. Thanks again for running. It was awesome, and very much look forward to next week.
Yeah. And it will be awesome.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.